deck, the prince will be really well protected by the giant, and the giant can reach the tower pretty easily. That's my favorite combo in this game, and I hope that you use it well.
Nim Sensei is a monster.
Hi, I'm Nim Sensei, and I will give you my favorite and best Clash Royale combos. Let's play. So this one is my favorite deck. It's the Giant Graveyard deck that is really strong because you have a good tank that can last your graveyard, and it's pretty unstoppable when your opponent doesn't really have Valkyrie or any graveyard counter. It's really great. So the Splash Yard is really good because every card in that deck is a defensive card. So the advantage of this combo is you can just put a tornado and it will just clean all the troops in the game, so that is really great. Like the Bowler with the graveyard or the Baby Dragon with the graveyard can just kill absolutely everything. This deck has no good counter, so that's the greatest strength of this deck. So one of my favorite combo is the Giant Prince, because it has a chance against almost every deck. The Prince will be really well protected by the Giant, and the Giant can reach the tower pretty easily. That's my favorite combo in this game, and I hope that you use it well.
I'm Baron. I'm from Germany. The city is called Hanover. There are many good players in Germany, so to be here in the finals, I'm pretty proud of it. I play Clash because sometimes it's cool to disconnect from the original world and just dive into the Clash universe. My favorite sport is tennis. And there are different types of players in tennis as well as in Clash, so you have to adapt to your opponent every single match.
Baron's gonna put this thing into overtime now.
My tennis style is like playing passively and wait for the opponent to make mistakes.
Good hit from the Hog as well. Baron is back ahead now in tower damage.
My Clash playstyle is pretty much the same, like chilling at the beginning, but then I go aggressive.
Can Baron get that lightning cycle onto the left side to claim victory?
Yes!
There it goes! Surge gets the good game!
Are you kidding
His
me?
first loss! Baron wins! Defeats the undefeated Surgical Goblin!
I love Clash because you can't really stop playing it. When you lost the game, you want to get those trophies back, or you're playing a challenge and you don't want to finish like with 3 wins.
For the storyline, that could not have gone better.
To play one-on-one against my opponent on stage is fun. But I hope they're not gonna be spamming emotes like high faces, and I can't handle that. I really hope that in the finals in London I'm gonna wear the golden crown.
My name is Victor, and in game I'm Nim Sensei. In Clash Royale, I employ a very aggressive style.
Oh, get off my screen! Finishes him off! Are you kidding me? Nim Sensei is a monster.
I always try to not let my opponent breathe, so they are never safe.
Nim Sensei drops the bomb.
Very likely
Sensei
right
is
now.
playing on another level.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series. My name is Trid, and of course I'm here to walk you through the EU region for the full season. We've already had 2 weeks of amazing competitive play, seeing the new blood to the league ending right up at the top, and it's all for the old guard to play for. But before we touch on more of that, let's have a recap of our journey so far. Like we said, we had the 20-win challenge. 27.4 million players competed in an open tournament to get themselves to phase 2. is our bracket stage. You win that bracket, you come first. You got a slot in the top 16 for Elimination Week, where 4 groups of 4 of our best in Europe went head-to-head to decide the 8 who will be joining the top 2 from spring right here in our top 10 for full season. They're competing in a double round robin tournament. They're all to play for there. The top 6 of which will go to our double elimination bracket to crown EU's champion. And not only will they get the privilege and the pride of victory, there's a sizable prize pool for them as well. There's going to be $15,000 for first place finish. Everyone's taking home a share of that prize pool just for making it to the top 10. They're going to have $3,500 to reward themselves for their hard work. But we know the format, we know what's at stake. Let's have a look at our top 10. And if you haven't been watching the first 2 weeks, there'll be some new faces for you here. Some of the ones to look out for from the new pack: Icelaw, Soaking, Lowe. These are the guys who are sitting at the top of the leaderboard, and they want to stay that way throughout the rest of the tournament. Of course, you've got the familiar faces from spring: Donkey Kong, Surgical Goblin, Nem Sensei as well. But let's see how they've done after 2 weeks of play. We check in with our leaderboard. Now, at the top of that leaderboard are the new blood, as I've already mentioned. Icelaw, Lowe, Surgical Goblin, Soaking. These are the names at the top 4, but shockingly, the players from spring, they're mainly dominating what would be our elimination zone if we were in the last week. Player to note, Nem Sensei, yet to pick up a victory so far. He's got 13 more games to get some wins on the board, and for his sake, I hope he does. But let's have a look at what he's going to have to go up against today as we pull up our schedule for this week's matches. A couple of good matches to kick things off. Icelaw versus Soaking. That's a battle of the top 3. They're going to be going head-to-head to kick things off. But as we move further down the list, a couple of other matches to watch out for. Nem Sensei's first match against Berin. Can he get that victory against a player who's also been struggling in this top 10 so far? Moving out throughout the rest of the day, we've got the Lowe versus Icelaw matchup. It's another one of those higher pack battles to see who can get a better position. One to watch as well, Adam versus Lupanji, the Logbake Master. He may have been able to get into that, maybe up to the higher end of the elimination week, but he's not out of the clearing just yet. And our final match of the day, Donkey Kong versus Soaking. That's going to be one to watch. The Three Musketeer Master going up against the Godslayer himself. Let's see how that pans out at the end of the day. Before we jump into today's matches, of course, we're going to be broadcasting in English. But if English isn't your native language, we have other options for you. We have our foreign language broadcast team. We're going to be having Spanish, French, German, Italian, and of course, Turkish. But the gentlemen I'm going to introduce you to next are English language broadcast team. So Woody and Chanton, take it away for match 1.
Thank you, Trid. Hi, I am in Shatton from Hashtag Gaming.
Howdy, I'm Woody from Reddit Alpha. And today we're going to be offering commentary on the matches in Day 3 of the EU CCGS.
Yes, but first, guys, we are going to take you through the new implemented ban system that is in the fall CCGS. Woody, why don't you tell us about the ban system?
But of course, each match, both players in the best of 3 will get a chance to ban one single card before they start their games. Now, they'll only get that information ahead of time by about 5, maybe 10 minutes, so they're going to have to sit back, rebuild their decks, think about what they're going to try to take advantage of with the cards that have been removed from the game. And this is just an example here. You can see goblins and skeletons, for instance, being banned. Those 2 cards will not be accessible to either player for the entire duration of the match. If you do accidentally play one of those cards, you are automatically disqualified from winning that game. So it adds a different layer of strategy to Clash Royale. It makes it a little bit more important to get the deck building done just right. And Chatton, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's a good implementation to the game as far as the strategy aspect, advanced strategy into the game. But here's the thing, you don't want to do what Nem Sensei did, like you said. If you play a card that's banned, unfortunately, you are going to take a loss. So you have to make sure that you build your deck around the banned cards and you do not put one of them in your deck. I think it definitely improves the gameplay as far as the strategic element of it, but kind of takes away from the element of Adam, you know, who's a very big log bait player. If you ban his best deck, you're not going to be able to see him play you know, the best deck that he's known for.
Yeah, that's well said. It affects players mostly if they don't have a lot of versatile options to play. But let's take a look at the bans that are going to be implemented for the very first match. I saw is going with Hog Rider. Soaking has chosen Mega Knight. Now, these are not unpopular bans. I'd say Mega Knight gets banned a little bit more than Hog Rider, but big, heavy bodies and win conditions, as you put it last week. Big, heavy bodies and win conditions are popular options, and it looks like this match we're going to see a little bit less of those ground-based kind of mid-range pushes. Do you think that we are more likely to see like beatdown attacks or maybe like air attacks, given that there's no Mega Knight in this game?
Yeah, there might be a Lava Loon, probably a lot of Miner. Definitely a lot of control-oriented decks. You might even see a Golem come out for beatdown. There is no Mega Knight, you know, which takes away a lot of, you know, pressure on the map. It's one of those cards that has been used, you know, quite frequently since it's come out. It's used almost as much interchangeably with P.E.K.K.A. So whenever anybody really bans P.E.K.K.A., instead of running P.E.K.K.A. control, they just switch it off with Mega Knight control. With Mega Knight being banned, there's still a lot of options with the P.E.K.K.A. Not that many, you know, things that are going to be happening.
They're both 7-cost troops. They provide a big hit point sponge out in front of your main attack. They can soak a lot of damage and they can dish out a lot of damage, but they're pretty expensive, and if you don't build up enough elixir to be able to justify that expenditure, you can get caught up by someone who might have a little bit more nimble of a deck, like the Hogbait, Logbait decks as well. Both work very well by making sure that your opponent can't invest enough elixir in one lane. You split them up, you know, you throw a barrel over here, add a gang over there. But looks like we are now into the game in chat, and we've got a pump coming out from Soaking on top, and that's with a little bit of guards, 2 on the left. Pretty big attack.
Yeah, guards. Miner comes out. Oh, misses the block on the Miner. Good Miner there right in front of that pump.
Yep. He did get that Mega Knight down. Soaking is able to keep a few drops of elixir in that pump, but he takes a little bit of damage on that left side tower, and he's forced to go on the counter attack now, adding some goblins on to try to get some value out of this push. The goblins are making their way toward the tower. They'll get quite a few stabs off. That's a rocket's worth of damage on that left side tower just from goblins getting some stabs in.
Yeah, they definitely gobbled up some damage on that left side. Logtaven had a little bit of chip as well. Every little bit counts.
Sure does, and Soaking might be in a slightly better position now. He's got a little bit more elixir to play around with, especially with that pump out the back right, and he is playing Big Mama P.E.K.K.A., a card that he's pretty well known for. It wasn't banned here, and so is Islaw. P.E.K.K.A. control is the way to go. If you ain't got any big old Mega Knights or balloons flying around, jumping around, or excuse me, Hog Riders in this game, it's a good call.
Ooh, wow, 3 Musketeers, single lane. Dang. Poison is not in cycle. He's got 2 more units to drop before that poison gets into cycle. Mega Knight coming down, and this is a gnarly push in chatting.
There's no blocking for these Muskies. He's got nothing. That can't do anything. This poor Ewiz about to get murdered. Muskies lock onto their intended target. They're popping that tower down to triple digits.
Oh, no, 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 no. Beautifully played by Soaking. He got the poison out of cycle and punished Islaw. And that's what really good players do, though. They make you either poison one of their pumps, go aggressive with the 3 Musketeers like that. He kind of knew the rotation that Islaw was going into, knew the way that he was kind of playing. Once that P.E.K.K.A. came down, he took full advantage of that with the Musketeers.
A great job of it, and Soaking still has more elixir to play around with. I think that Islaw is probably going to want to hold on to that poison for when he sees those 3 Musketeer attacks coming on in, but he also wants to throw it on the elixir collector. There's just a lot of targets, and it's hard to decide how to use those attacks.
Yeah, he might just be stacking pumps. Soaking, that is. And 3 Musketeers coming down. Poison's going to get a
value. Poison!
Wow!
In chat, and he was able to get the Musketeers and the Elixir Collector on the back. Kills one of the Musketeers. The right side attack, not too worrisome. It looks like Islaw is more concerned about this left lane. P.E.K.K.A. and Ewiz on the counter attack might be pretty good value for Islaw. He wants this game to be over right now. Doesn't want Soaking to get value out of that pump in the back.
No, P.E.K.K.A. once again, left-hand lane, going to clash against each other. Miner
finds his way out of the pump. Yeah, he's getting a few swings off there. Ewiz to distract and slow him down. But I think he got pretty good value taking, maybe it was 3 or 4 swings out of that pump. The attack at the left for Islaw is dead, but he's starting a new one now. P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Minion.
Goblins in the bag.
I think that Soaking's push is just falling apart a little bit too soon. He's never really gone in for a big attack ever since that big first one, and that right side tower is actually taking quite a bit of damage. Look, it's almost down to triple digits.
Yeah, the big difference in this game so far has been the goblins in the first play of the game, doing a little bit of damage.
Goblins are soaking, and I saw running guards. Can you tell us a little bit about the difference between those two cards?
Well, the difference between guards and goblins are goblins die to log, very susceptible to log. Guards, on the other hand, survive the log.
Okay.
The funny part about this matchup is there's only a zap for Isla, so the goblins are going to get full value from soaking.
And soaking is not able to hit those bats with the log. It only hits ground units, and that's really what's been able that's been enabling Icelot to be able to get damage out the right side, trying to just defend with as little as necessary on the left and then just get a little bit of chip damage out the right. Nice poison here. We'll clip 2 of the Musketeers, and they shouldn't present too much of a threat out the left, but he's taking a few Mega Minion swipes out the right, and he's got to block this Musketeer now.
Yeah, he's just in a situation where he's got to get more minor chips on the tower. The guard's going to hit.
Ooh, one little stab there.
That's a lot of damage in this game.
They got pretty big, what are those, like javelins?
Or, yeah, the javelins.
No, they're like halberds, I think they stab the tower with.
Yeah.
Bigger than the skeletons. They can do quite a bit more damage. And those shields are pretty nice too.
Yeah, they are. It's like medieval times.
I love that place.
Me too.
And the times.
Yeah, right?
Well, right side attack is going to be pretty good from soaking. Log rolls through the guards. And there's a big attack coming in. Goblins about to make their way to the tower. Musketeer launched, and that thing is down.
That is game. The Toupee army takes game number 1.
Boom. Double P.E.K.K.A. control decks from these guys. Even heavier push from soaking, though. Using those 3 Musketeers worked very, very well for him, especially at the beginning when he was able to punish the lack of poison in his opponent's hand. I think that's what really gave him the early lead, even though it wound up being the opposite side tower that eventually went down first, right?
Yeah, it was, but it just kept the pressure on the map, so he was able to keep on dropping his double muskies in the strong side and then working on, the weaker side. Just slow chip here and there. Versus the 3 Musketeer deck, unfortunately, you have to worry about both lanes all times. And here it is, as you see, worrying about the left side double muskies on the left, coming in on the right with the Ice Golem, the Goblins, and just like you said, Musketeer connecting on to the tower. Good game.
It was so difficult to stop both the Musketeer and the Goblins with a little bit of close-up melee damage to stab at the tower and a long-range Musketeer firing away. You could really only catch one of them. He tried to get bats in there at the last second, but he was just so low on elixir. I think it might have been the over-investment with the E-Wiz on the left lane that left him a little bit too high and dry to be able to deal with that big right side push.
Yeah, and that's the story of the first push, doing so much damage. You have to defend both sides. He overcommitted. I think Soaking was just waiting for Isla to overcommit one time on defense and then just flood the other side. And that's what you saw. Soaking preemptive log, knew exactly what his opponent had. The moment he dropped that Electro Wizard, I think he'd lost as well.
These guys are so evenly matched. They're both tied for first place right now with 4-1 records. But I gotta say, Enchattin, I think that the matches that Soaking have been in are a little bit more decisive in his favor. He's been fighting against opponents who are also ranked pretty highly, and it's done a very good job against them. Icelot has that same 4-1 record, but he's now down 0-1 in this match, and I'm not really sure if the difficulty of his bracket so far has been able to match up against Soaking. So they're at the same point right now on the leaderboard, but if the direction that these games are going in continues, I think Soaking has got a good chance to make this a 2-0 and wind up on top in the #1 spot. Decisive lead in the European region.
Well, Isla has Surgical Goblin coming up next after this, so he's just going to have to run through the gauntlet now.
Yeah.
After he had a couple of people who, were a little newer, to the scene coming in, and I wouldn't say so much weaker, but I would just say fresher.
Yeah. I feel like we're very gingerly stepping around the words here. They're lower ranked. They're still the top 10 in the region. These guys are absolutely crazy good. Yeah. Well, Icelot has bats to begin with, Soaking with a Mega Minion. Ought to be able to swipe him down without too much trouble. What's he going to have to add on? E-Wiz in the back. I feel like Mega Minion's actually a pretty good way to swipe down this E-Wiz. I mean, he'll be able to zap it down before it gets to the tower, but Mega Minion skill, yep.
There it is, guards once again. We're seeing a lot of guard play now. Interesting.
Yeah, Icelot ran it both times. It's not something that we typically see in these competitive matches.
Yeah.
but getting value against logs and zaps.
Yeah, I think the main thing is they're worried about just shutting down the P.E.K.K.A. completely. If you have a log guards, guess what? You take off my shield, but I still have 3 skeletons that you got to get through.
I love the fact that it also helps to counter those 2 really popular spell cards, the Zap and Log spell. Shield takes most of the damage, and skeletons remaining there. They keep stabbing away.
Yeah, and especially versus P.E.K.K.A. if there's no Mega Knight on the field.
Look at the split air push. We got Lava Hound and Mega Minion out the right lane, but Soaking has enough elixir to add a balloon on the left. It gets zapped, and we're going to see a Mega Minion flying in on top.
And there it is. It's going to connect on the tower.
Great hit from Soaking. Over 1,000 damage peeled off that left lane. He's probably going to get the same off the right side with these pups when they're finished.
Yeah, Lava Pups do so much damage untouched. It's kind of like one of those cards where you see the Lava Hound, you know, gingerly just patting at your tower, patting at your tower. So you take your eye off it for 1 second, all of a sudden it explodes into Lava Pups, and then your tower just starts melting.
Yeah. And then, you know, another card that works really well with that Lava Hound, the Miner. We haven't seen that combo used very much recently, but Miner at the very back end does a great job soaking for just tiny little bats, lava pups, whatever gets thrown at you.
Yeah, that's that. The Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon's easily going to be able to clear out the P.E.K.K.A. here. Lava Hound going to just slowly soak everything from the Electro Wizard. Balloon coming down on the right-hand side.
Look, Balloon at the right. We got a Lava Hound, Mega Minion, Inferno Dragon assault down the left lane. Big push, but Poison pretty much takes it all out, and Ewiz is a great counter to the Inferno Dragon. He can hardly do anything with that Ewiz zapping him up.
Yeah, Miner comes in on the right-hand side.
Oh, nice
Guards
snap.
coming out. Oh, Guards going to connect to the tower!
Dude, all 3 of them on the tower. Mega Minion swiping him down, but that'll get him to triple digits. And Ice Law is actually now ahead in damage over on the right lane.
So much damage coming in. Electro Wizard going to do a little bit of a balloon on the left-hand side. Can it connect on the tower?
Push. Ice Law is going for it. He's just absolutely trying to dump it all on the right side.
You gotta watch the guards!
Tombstone blocks.
Goodness,
I don't think it's going to go down.
Wow!
Left side. Boom! 34.
Unbelievable Tombstone!
Catches the guards, and what a great job by Soaking. The hashtag Tupe Army reigns supreme. Soaking the winner of this match by that clutch Tombstone defense at the end.
That was beautiful. I don't know what else to say about that. That was
unbelievable. Was it unbelievable?
No, it was not unbelievable. It was gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
Mwah.
Mwah.
We got to take another look at that last push because we were playing pretty much all 4 corners of the map. I think top left might not have been taking any damage, but the right side here, forcing defense by Ice Law as he drills in hard against the tower, sitting those guards in. They almost reach it all the way there, but the Tombstone blocks at the last second. Mega Minion can't get the job done, though, and that balloon in the bottom left is what almost gives Soaking the win. You just need one more little fireball at the end to drop that tower.
Yeah, the Mega Minion came in a little late because he didn't have any elixir. He was defending the Lava Hound. He was going in with the minor guards, trying to just get it off in time. Tombstone comes out just in time. Maybe another 3/4 of a second, and he might have lost that tower.
Yeah. By such short margins of victory is how these CCGS games go. What am I trying to say? Very small margins of victory, and it's at the very end when you have just another drop of elixir, or can get that game-winning card played just a half a second before your opponents can. That's Clash Royale, man.
That was the difference. Islaw did not have enough elixir to drop his Mega Minion in time to take care of the balloon. Soaking, on the other hand, just had enough to get that Tombstone down to defend the guards. And that's the difference of Clash Royale. It's just that little bit, especially at this high of a level where you're talking about the best 10 players in all of Europe. This much separates these players. And just like that, like you said, Woody, that split second of elixir was the difference.
We've got a 2-0 victory for Soaking over Ice Law. The Team Kesso players duking it out. Spain victorious in this game. Don't worry, though, if you're an Ice Law fan, he'll still be doing quite well on the leaderboard. Not even close to the danger zone at this point, but I think that does kick him.
I think he's still in second.
He's tied for second,
Surgical Goblins 4-2 at third.
So is Loa, yeah.
So,
well, let's queue up the next match. We've got match 2 coming up next and chatting. And you know who we've got? Nim Sensei and Baron.
This is going to be a great match. Not only 2 of prolifically the best players coming in, but they're very low on the leaderboard, needing this victory. Nem Sensei going to be banning the poison. Baron going to be banning the Mega Minion, so we will not be seeing either of these cards. This matchup, though, Nem Sensei 0-5, Baron 1-4. What does this mean, Woody, for this matchup?
Well, we're starting to get to the point where players are going to be in a very difficult position trying to climb up into the top 6. You got to be top 6 to go to the bracket stage at the very end of our double round robin, to be able to go to stage 5 and then to potentially even go to World Finals. You got to make it there. This is a marathon, and these guys are behind in the race right now. It hurts to say it, but this is a very important match for both of them. They're straggling at the back of the pack. Yeah. But this is the time that I think that one of them could potentially turn around. We have seen very close 2-1 matches from both of these guys, having difficult, times figuring out the ban system, how to take advantage of it, how to get their opponents off guard. I mean, one of them is going to get a win here at least, right? If it's Baron, he'll be a little bit better positioned because he'll have that 2-4 record. Nem Sensei, on the other hand, would still just be 1-5 if he gets the win here, but you know that they've both been practicing for a very long time for this match.
They have, and here's the best part about this. One of them has to get a win.
That's
the other one,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be rough.
These won't be their only games today, though.
No, they're not. But I feel like this game is more important for Nem Sensei because he is 0-5. The runner-up champion in the spring season, finished 2nd place, had a lot of pressure coming into here, and with every game that he plays, more and more pressure is going to get on him until he finally gets that first match victory.
Nem Sensei. He was number 2 spring season, and he's bottom of the pack right now. I think that he has been the player that has been talked about the most in the past week because he is someone with just such an incredible work ethic, will work so hard to turn practice into results. And I think that's what we see him trying to start with here with a big old play. Elixir Collector in the back. He's probably got a very heavy deck. Baron gets a good solid 6-for-6 counter while being able to dump a few hundred points of damage on the left side.
Ooh, Giant.
Yeah, way far back. Looks like Nem Sensei's playing kind of like a mid-range deck. Ooh, Baron with the P.E.K.K.A. though, hard counters the Giant. Big old tank out the left lane that could be able to chop him up. Inferno Dragon, a good call from Nem Sensei here. It burns up the P.E.K.K.A. Let's see how this changes. Wow! Whoa! Rage spell for Nem Sensei, but the Inferno Dragon does not lock the P.E.K.K.A. early enough.
Wow!
Minions to get the catch there, and Baron's gonna be able to zap this Inferno Dragon as well.
And this is why you don't really see that much rage, because I mean, Hog Rider on the right-hand side, and this is going to be this is going to do so much damage to the tower.
Can't even counter this Hog. He finally gets an Inferno Dragon down, but
hopefully he doesn't have a zap.
Pretty slowly. Ooh, kind of a wasted zap by Baron there. He was a little bit too aggressive, but zapped Inferno Dragon on the bottom. And Sensei has not got a lot to work with here. Baron with plenty of elixir to defend. It just takes a 2-elixir Ice Golem. Frosty the Snowman to stop that Inferno Dragon. Yeah. Cool off, he says. And a lightning again on that pump, the 6-for-6 hit.
You do get, one pump out of the pump every time, but if you're running a deck like Nem Sensei that's this heavy, that's this unique with the rage, you kind of need that pump. You can't afford it just only giving you 1 elixir, a +1 elixir for that.
Yeah. Well, Rage does get a little bit more value in double elixir time. Basically, the more troops that you can have in that little raged area, the better off it's going to work for you. So with double elixir and double the number of troops coming in, maybe Rage can actually turn things around here for Baron.
The only problem is he's going to have 3 lightning targets. This is going to be the Sunday dinner type of lightnings if he drops an Inferno Tower here. So he can't, an Inferno Dragon. He can't drop an Inferno Dragon because the lightning is in, Baron's hand.
Yeah.
And it's in rough position.
Left. We got a Hog Rider coming on in with some Goblins. Rage on defense this time. Nem Sensei's Tower and Electro Wiz trying to take that Hog out, but having some difficulty.
Look at this push on the left, but the Electro Wizard goes on the right-hand side. But just P.E.K.K.A. The story of this game is just P.E.K.K.A. versus Giant.
Dang, double E is out the right for Baron. The thing is, Nem Sensei gets the opportunity to choose what lane this game gets played in. With that Giant investment, he can force the P.E.K.K.A. to come out left or right. But it looks like this right side push is actually going to get the job done. Baron with the Hog Rider hammers that right side tower down. And that's going to be a 1-0 victory for the German.
Yeah, and we were looking at the statistics before. Giant in the bracket stage alone was one of the least played cards, and it was the least played win condition card besides Royal Giant that was played, and you're seeing why. With the rise of so much P.E.K.K.A, that just hurts to watch. You know, you drop a Giant in the back, you have the Inferno Dragon for the P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A starts smacking on your Giant, and then all of a sudden an Electro Wizard stops the, Inferno Dragon. You overcommit on defense again, and then all of a sudden a Hog Rider's coming on your right-hand side, and you got nothing to defend. You're just like, there's so much going on! And all of a sudden your tower's down to just over 1,000 now.
For a deck that really likes playing offense, Nim Sensei's Giant beatdown deck was not getting the connection against Baron's P.E.K.K.A Hog control deck. That Lightning getting a ton of value against the Elixir Collector. And look at this push out the right side. Hog Rider moving on in fast, and this poor Nightwitch gets overwhelmed. Ewiz in the back might be the MVP of that push, though. He was taking out bats, stunning the tower, and is providing great cover for this ground assault.
Yeah, just was never able to connect with that Giant. I think maybe he got one swing, maybe two on the left-hand side, and that was it.
Yeah.
The P.E.K.K.A is just... Giant is just so rough to play right now, and it's sad, because Giant's my favorite card. Nem Sensei's as well, but as you can see, there's just... With big, heavy armored units that cost 7 elixir that are so prevalent right now, it's almost impossible to run a Giant.
We need to buff Giant. We need a Giant Poison buff out there. You remember the days when Giant Poison was like the best deck in the game?
That's true. And then they nerfed the Giant hit points by 10%. Actually 15, I think. I think it was first 5. Then.
Oh, that sounds a lot.
Yeah, they RIP Giant.
Yeah.
But
and no poison in this game either. You can't run poison if it gets banned in CCGS. Your opponent just takes it out of the game.
That's true, and you don't have
ruins some of the key card synergies.
And you don't have the Mega Knight, which is the Mega Minion, which is one of the biggest synergies with the Giant, right behind the Giant, with the Mega Minion right on top of it. That was the meta for like 3 months in the game, back in I think January or whenever the Mega Minion came out. The Meta Minion.
The Meta Minion.
Sorry, the Meta Minion.
What do you think was the thought process behind adding Rage into that deck?
I think what he wanted to do was, just in case he did have a P.E.K.K.A, to rage it up, make sure you took out the P.E.K.K.A as fast as humanly possible with the Night Witch just stabbing it down, and then the Electro Wizard, to shut, the pushes and just slow everything. Unfortunately, he used the Inferno Dragon to kill a P.E.K.K.A that met at the bridge, where an Electro Wizard could just shoot the electrons, stop the Inferno Dragon, and then you're sitting there and you're like, crap, Inferno Dragon's kind of useless when you keep on getting zapped every, second.
Yeah. It seems like having a lot of troops on the board is really good for a rage spell, so maybe the thought process behind there was having Night Witch just spawn a ton of bats to just swarm and take out anything that's coming at you, but with plenty of splash damage that wasn't happening in that last game. Baron now with a rocket, another big 6 elixir spell to take out those pumps, and we got an oops from Nim Sensei.
And there was no poison in the last game as well, so maybe he wanted to rage everything behind it, knowing that nothing died to Fireball. But he had Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Battle ram at the right side for a Nim Sensei. Looks like we might have some sort of log bait variant. No, what is this? What am I looking at here? What is Baron playing? Do you think there's a mortar in this deck? Is this a mortar cycling type deck, you think?
This, to be honest with you,
Call it anything.
Let's put it this way. In the first 2 weeks of CCGS, we've seen 205 unique decks.
Yeah.
So
it could be anything,
It could be anything at this point.
A little bit unlucky with that last log play going toward the Princess. Missed her by just a little bit. Baron lost his own Princess. Whoa, we lost the bats at the left side. Do that zap spell. Baron's going to take some damage at the left.
What I can't believe is Baron was telling me about his Hog Rocket deck yesterday, and I'm almost positive this is his Hog Rocket deck.
Wait.
I'm pretty sure he has a Hog in here as well, yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a win condition at some point.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. There's a little bit of a emotive exchange between these two. They both reached 10 elixir at the same time. Yeah, there's the Hog coming in from Baron. Wow.
Ooh.
Not almost until double elixir time did we get a chance to see him. No hits for that Hog at the left side, though. Mega Knight and Bats cruising in on the left.
Yeah. Ooh, the bats all get taken down. Mini P.E.K.K.A going to do work on this Mega Knight. Log's going to easily clear that out.
It's pretty surprising if you were unfamiliar with the game, and I showed you this big, beefy dude covered head to toe in armor with these like gigantic mace for hands. Like it's this tiny little blue dude with a sword. Who would you think's gonna win in chat?
Ah, that's true. That's a good point. But the little blue dude does so much damage.
He's eating his cupcakes. Look.
When you do 598 per swing, it's a lot.
It sure is. And manages to take that battle ram out on the right. Going to force response as well, but...
Oh, Mini Pekka's going to go!
Wow, no response whatsoever.
You go!
Oh, just one chop. That was almost a second, though, and that would have been a crucial hit for Baron. Still, though, one hit from a Mini Pekka is definitely value.
Definitely value. His arm just wasn't big enough to get the second one.
No. Nice Ice Spirit there. We do get the stun. And you see him since he forced to drop another Mega Knight at the right side this time.
Yeah.
To prevent the Mini Pekka from connecting.
Oh, wow. This Hog Rider, there's no defense for this. He's got nothing. Wow.
Oh, that is ugly.
Oh, Prince is going to connect on the left-hand side. And he has to drop a Night Witch at the bridge. This is not what Nem Sensei wants to do at all.
At least that Mini Pekka didn't make it on the right lane. They're relatively close on this left lane. You know, Baron is a little bit ahead, but he's got either lane that he can choose here. The right side is also going down. Now you can see to 1490.
Yeah.
Very light, nimble deck that Baron is playing here, and he's playing it very well.
Battle Ram. Oh, bats though. Where's the zap? Nope.
There we get it to go in there.
Mini Pekka is just doing so much work before the zap happened.
Yep. Princess able to take out the Night Witch and the bats that she spawns, and if she can fire quickly enough, she's a little slow on the uptick there.
Yeah, magic number, 493.
Okay.
Ooh, Hog
We're
Rider.
getting ever closer, but no, Hog Rider just barely misses it. I love the Ice Golem plays from Baron here. It's getting so much value, just blocking hits. You know, it's never really going to hit too much itself, but it's given this Mini Pekka plenty of opportunities.
He just wasted a zap on the right-hand side. He has no elixir for the Hog Rider on the left. He's going to keep on swinging. And once again, he had to fireball defensively.
Such an awkward defensive card to play against a Hog Rider, a 4-for-4 trade, but can hardly get any damage in against the Hog. With a rocket cycle, Baron might get the win. He's just got to hold on for a little bit longer. Nem Sensei, the Princess trade out there. Oh, man, this Mega Knight's so far back, he's never going to even cross the bridge.
No, Baron.
Rocket cycle is easy to do when you got bats, Ice Spirit, and Ice Golem. Wow. Kaboom.
And Baron, just like that, gets a second match victory.
Easy peasy. 2-0 win. And toward the end there, well, he certainly made it look easy, didn't he? Just throw rockets. You don't even have to get some on the tower at that point. 2 more rockets and you take him out. You just play defense for a little longer. And it's so easy to do with that deck, too. The really cheap cards make it so easy to just pull your opponent's troops around, prevent them from ever really connecting with the tower. And you saw so many times Mega Knight storming on in there like he's the boss. Not when Mini Pekka's here.
No, not at 4 elixir for 7. 4 elixir for 7 trade. Biggest thing though, Nem Sensei kept on having to use fireballs defensively.
Yeah.
Number one thing you want to do is avoid using your big spells defensively.
Well, congratulations to Baron. The win there means that he's got a 2-4 record overall. Nem Sensei looking for that first win. He's 0-6 right now. Let's send it back to the locker room and see what Treat has to say about the current standings.
Well, the current standings, Woody, are still not looking very good for Nem Sensei, unfortunately, yet to get a win. He's now gone 0-6. Baron's going to get another one in his column, though. But if you've been playing ladder this week, you would have noticed a new card has entered Clash Royale. It is, of course, the Flying Machine. It is enabled for this week of play, but we're yet to see anyone play it. Just in case it shows up there, we brought a special guest along to help us talk about the new card. So please, welcome to the Clash Royale Crown Championship, Ben TM. Thanks very much for joining us, man. Awesome. Take a seat. So, Ben, Flying Machine, talk to me. What's going on with the new card? Flying Sparky, is it that bad? Yeah.
Underwhelming.
A little bit underwhelming.
It needed a bit more love in terms of its hit points.
Okay.
The same with the Flying Machine. They both, at release, die to Fireball.
So it's a little bit undertuned at the moment, shall you
Yeah.
say, from a health point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I was speaking to Woody and Chanton earlier, and they were saying that its usage comes into play against, they see it as a strong option, shall we say, for Inferno Tower, because it has this safe range. I mean, range is one of the best features it has. You know, I don't know the exact number, I'm sure you do. It's 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it has 6, which is only 3 less than Princess, which has one of the longest range in the game. It has the same range as a Musketeer,
Yep.
but it has some things over the Musketeer. It's a bit faster. It also can't be aggroed by like goblins or skeletons just to try to distract it. But as you're going to see in the replay in a minute, if you're playing it with a hog, you can place it dead at the river, and it's going to take out the cannon before your hog gets there.
Wow. Wait for it a second, though. I'm sure it'll come up on the screen.
Oh, it's the tombstone, not the hog.
Oh, it's the tombstone. It takes it out before anything can even be done with it. So it does have its usage. Shall we say it's more of a niche pick at the moment? It has like an odd moment where it'll be used.
I think it won't receive too much love because there's still stronger options. The Musketeer does more damage, it lives for longer, and it's the same elixir.
Yeah, it's 4 elixir cost card. I mean, we were talking about the stats earlier. The damage, not quite as strong as a Musketeer, but I suppose it's only really the damage and the range that this card has got going at the moment. Other than that, it appears in its current state to be a flying barrel of trash, shall we say?
Pretty much. I mean, like I said at the start, it's basically a flying Sparky at this point.
Same thing. But as you can see there, 510 HP. Fireball does, what, 572 damage?
572 at Tournay standard.
Yeah.
Just obliterates it.
Yeah, but 142 on the damage. It's quite good at clearance, but still not up there with options like Mega Minion and Musketeers.
No, I mean, it's got a lot more range than the Mega Minion.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Nowhere near the amount of damage.
Yeah.
Not even the health.
It's highly mobile as well, which I'm sure helps get in position. Like I said about the Inferno Tower, the best benefit of that is it doesn't have to travel that far into the enemy territory. So it won't aggro the Princess Towers, but it can still get down the Inferno Tower. Of course, it still needs a tank. It needs a zap on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's still not the most efficient use, but it is a new option, which is what I quite like about it. I mean, do you see any way or any other possible usage this card can come into play? Because, I mean, the obvious counter is Fireball. So people were saying, let's build a deck that doesn't really have, that takes rid of the Fireball, takes care of it. Something like a Battle Ram that would either have the Lightning used against it or the Fireball used against it. It might open up field for the Flying Machine. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you could see it in a Battle Ram deck that also runs double minions, because that's a bit of Fireball bait in itself. Or maybe take out, I don't know. There's a few options in bait you could take out for it. Maybe the Princess, but then you're not going to have the splash damage. But the real deck I see it going in is Beatdown.
Beatdown.
Because it can pair well with the Giant, with the Golem, because like you said, it targets the Inferno Tower while staying untargeted by the tower. And reset it with a Zap, and your push is still healthy.
Jobs are good on it. Do you reckon we'll actually see Flying Machine played today, maybe?
Well, Sensei doesn't look too hot at the moment, but with Sensei and Lupanji, anything's possible.
Yeah, well, hopefully they get a few wins on the board and Lupanji's creative enough to use it. But we will be going back to the casting desk. Woody and Chanton will bring you the next 2 games. So, boys, take it away.
The Flying Machine. They said it was like a flying Sparky. Do you agree with that, Woody? What are your thoughts on the Flying Machine?
Man, they were pretty pessimistic about it, and I gotta agree, I don't think it's gonna see a whole lot of play, but I'll play devil's advocate here. It takes a lot of time to figure out how these new cards can fit into decks. Even a card like Tornado that sees quite a bit of play. It's been used in like Executioner combos and was played a lot with Graveyard back in the day. It hardly even got used at all for like the first couple months that it was out, because people were like, what do you even use this thing for? You can't kill anything with it. You know, you can try to drag something onto your King Tower to get it activated, but it's not working too well. But I guess in chat, we're going to have to hop into the first match. It's Donkey Kong versus Lupanji. Do you think either of these guys are going to use the Flying Machine?
I do.
Oh.
I do. You want to know what? I think Lupanji, the man himself who runs the craziest decks, I think he's going to come out of nowhere. I think he's going to run the Flying Machine. And you want to know what? He might even throw in a clone in there as well.
Interesting. Well, he's banned P.E.K.K.A, and his opponent has banned the balloon. So Flying Machine works pretty well against the balloon. I don't know if it can take it out unless you get the timing just right on there. It also works pretty well against the P.E.K.K.A. So two things that the Flying Machine works well against, banned from this match, that might hurt its chances of making an appearance here. But, you know, I think I heard you saying earlier that it works pretty well against log bait decks. Is that right? You stand by that?
Yeah, it works well versus Logbait because it kills the Inferno Tower from across the bridge. It could just slowly push it, take it down. If they don't get their Goblin Gang down in time, it can easily chip down that Inferno Tower, which stops the Golem pushes, which stops the big giant pushes. If you can just take down that Inferno Tower, it'll leave a path for your units to come, especially if you have a zap as well, just to retarget it. If you can get that once targeted, it chips it down, and they're not going to really, I mean, they have a log and a rocket, so they're not going to rocket it. You know, they're not going to log it.
Yeah.
Because you can't log it. So, you know, you can't really do anything to it. If you're a log bait, you don't have the fireball, which is pretty much the hardest counter in the game to it.
That's true. And it's not even a positive elixir trade, though. You know, 4 for 4, you can drop it onto the Flying Machine. Pretty much always hits because it's got a pretty good radius with that fireball. Lightning can also take it out, too. And the thing about that trade is that if there's anything else nearby, that fireball or lightning is gonna hit it, you know? So not only are you getting that equal trade at 4 for 4 being able to take out the Flying Machine, but you're usually gonna get splash damage on either that tower or some other troops that are kind of clumped up with it. So that's why I kind of think that it's in a bad spot right now. Maybe if we can find a deck that tried to punish your opponent's use of spells like Fireball, we can see some usage in it. We've seen that before. Things like Three Musketeers, Elixir Collector, Minion Horde, all try to bait out the Fireball from your opponent. So maybe in that kind of deck it could work. And I got my fingers crossed that Lupanji's going to have it in one of his decks at least, too. And
yeah, and I think Lupanji is definitely ready for the balloon ban. Every single person pretty much has banned the balloon versus Lupanji. He's seen it last week. Everybody banned balloon on him. So he's definitely ready for this to come out. A Miner on the right-hand side. Wow. Nice
catch. The Bandit's going to be able to take him out. It's a 3 for 3 trade, but what can you do about this big Mega Minion push? This is a mega-sized push in chat.
You got that right. There's a lot of armor on the left-hand side and a lot of life coming off that tower.
Well, in Donkey Kong's favor, the tower stands, and he's got a lot more elixir to play around with. Look, they're tied up right now, but Donkey Kong, with that elixir collector in the back right, has actually got about 5 more drops of elixir, and he's probably just going to soak this damage out the left side from the Hog Rider entirely. That tower can go down, but DK can put up a massive push onto Lupanji's right side.
Yeah, this is going to be the play of the game. If he can connect on this golem and take the tower, he'll be in prime position. If, unfortunately, he does not take a tower here, I think it's all but over for Donkey Kong.
Lupanji, your defense has got to hold up right now, man. Show us what you got. We got a Mega Knight taking out that Night Witch. Ooh, not quite. Oh, finishes him off now, but the Golem is already connected and it's punching away at that tower.
Ooh, this is going to be a tower here. Oh, Ice Golem just in time. Frosty the Snowman
keeping some of those troops off. The Golemites are still there, though, pounding away. We've got a minion added on top. That should be enough in chatting. I think this right side is going to be toast.
Yep, MVP minion, and now Lupanji kind of in a little trouble.
Short. That's actually a pretty good result for Donkey Kong right there. Even though he didn't get that right side tower down, he hasn't activated the King Tower. So he has a pretty good option now to go left or right if he wants to try to go for the 2 crown or the 3. You know, it is more difficult to get the 3rd crown down. The King has got a lot of hit points, but if you want to play same lane, it's not a bad option here. We got a Hog Rider moving in on the right side. Bandit's going to be able to take him out, but an aggressive Fireball by Lupanji gets a little more damage in. Donkey Kong is going to go for the 2 crown here as the Bandit dashes onto the tower and puts this thing to a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge push from Donkey Kong. He's got the Giant, he's got the Minions, Night Witch, double Giant! Oh my goodness!
Double Golem, they're both marching for the left side.
Double
Big,
Golem.
Heavy avalanche.
Yeah, this
in the left lane.
Oh my goodness, the arena just shook.
I think it did, and there's nothing really supporting these golems.
Yeah, I don't
no
even
troops out the back, but they're getting the job done just themselves.
They don't even need to. They're definitely eating their meat, and this tower is definitely going down. Can he go for the triple, though? Here it is, 8 seconds left, so much damage.
Lupanji might have been able to get it if he just had more time, but he's run out of time, and he's run out of offense. It's a 2-1 victory for Donkey Kong.
Time is your enemy in that match. And Donkey Kong, wonderfully played.
It's basically, yeah, wonderfully played. It's basically starting the overtime a little bit earlier than you would have other, that it actually literally starts in the game. If you don't have to deal with your opponent's final push, then the game might as well be in sudden death. You take out that left side tower and they're sending in Mega Minion on Mega Minions on E-Wizzes, on Miners added on top. Hog Rider was even making an appearance on the King Tower at the end, but Lupanji just ran out of time. He didn't have anything to throw at that tower. And Chad, tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, we're looking at a golem on the left-hand side, and look at that. His best friend comes along to try to get more damage on the left. He says, I don't need my support troops hitting the tower. If I got 2 golems doing 300+ damage per swing, plus the def damage, and here it is, double golems hit the tower. Golems already smacked 3 times, 4. It's just continuing to do so much damage, and just like you said, he's not worried about the counterattack that's going to be built up because he's got 2 heavy golems on the left. He doesn't care. 16 seconds left. Look at this huge push. Double Mega Minions. He's got a Mega Knight. He's got Electro Wizard, Hog. But guess what? These 2 Mega Minions and Electro Wizard are just never going to get to the dinner table to take out that King Tower.
Oh, they're going to be hungry tonight, won't they? Mega Knight and Electro Wizard. Great defensive options. They can do a lot of splash damage and kind of take out those mid-sized pushes. But what was there really to take out something like a golem? I guess Mega Minion can get some good DPS in there on defense, but there were 2 of them stacked on the golems at the end there, and they didn't get the job done.
Yeah, he had a semi-answer, but just no P.E.K.K.A., no mini P.E.K.K.A., no anything to really clear it out quick. So, yes, the Mega Minion is a great kind of answer for it, but in that situation, he was out of cycle with it because he had to drop the Electro Wizard to, start shooting electrons at it. Then the Mega Minion comes down. But once you have 2 golems with a massive amount of HP pool, it's just too much for your tower to handle, especially in double elixir time where the elixir is just going to keep on coming and coming and coming, where you have to stop the support troops at the bridge as well, because if they ever connect on the tower, especially in Night Witch, bats on the tower, anything hits that tower with the golems, you lose. So you have to do a double-pronged attack, and you don't really expect golems to do that much damage to a tower, but when you have 2 smacking on it, plus the def damage, plus the golemites, the damage really does add up.
And I know that Lupanji loves playing Mega Knight balloon attacks. Couldn't run that this last time because balloon was banned. You know that he loves playing P.E.K.K.A., and P.E.K.K.A. chops through those golems a lot better than the Mega Knight can, but guess what? P.E.K.K.A. was banned. I think that this was a pretty crucial combo of bans that left Lupanji kind of without a deck that he could comfortably play. And as a result there, you see going down to DK in the very first game due to strategic misplay at the very beginning. Donkey Kong holding on to that elixir advantage, and he used it very, very well.
Yeah, Hog Rider on the left for Lupanji here. Mega Knight coming out for Donkey Kong.
And takes him out before the Hog Rider even gets a single swing. That was a crucial exchange. DK spent 3 more elixir, but hasn't taken any damage yet.
Yeah, and there is 1 tile placement at the perfect time to not allow that Hog Rider to hit the tower, and you better believe that Donkey Kong was practicing that all week.
Well, we've got a draw right now. The arena goes quiet once again. 8, 9, creeping back up to 10. These guys are just about even on elixir still.
There's an interesting tombstone here.
Huh.
Normally, we've only seen tombstones with Lava Hound, but it looks like Lupanji going to be throwing it out with his Hog deck.
Yeah. Once again, for a reminder on our friends in chat, you cannot use any card that's been banned, even if you were the one who banned it. It's out of your deck and your opponent's decks. Nice tornado spell, though. We were talking about that one earlier. Pulls it onto the King Tower. That means that DK has got a lot of good defensive options and won't be quite as worried about Hog Riders connecting.
Yeah, Mega Minion on the left side. Ice Golem, Frosty the Snowman gonna block all this.
Whoa! Big old Graveyard spell out the back, and Knight to soak some hits, while the Mega Minion's trying to swipe some things down too. Tombstone is probably the best defensive building against the Graveyard, and it looks like that push is kind of fizzled, man. DK's got a lot of elixir left to deal with this counterattack. He got about, I don't know, that left side tower is down about 700 hit points, right?
Yeah, but the Ice Wizard just chipped away at the bottom right, and it's almost even in damage.
Just about. Lupanji would probably be pretty happy here to split the lanes up. try to attack out the right while DK tries to build up a big old push for the left. And that's what he's going to do. Hog Rider going down the right side lane, pushing the lane that he's stronger in, but it's not going to get anywhere.
Wow, Ice Spear comes in to join the party on stopping that Hog Rider. Wasn't needed.
Whoa! This rocket misses the Mega Minion, a crucial miss for Lupanji. Mega Minion's going to provide a lot of trouble on defense here. He's got a Mega Minion of his own trying to swipe things down, but this poor Ice Wizard just distracted, not able to get the one shot off against those Skellies.
Yeah, no, it's just so much damage come off. Here comes the Hog Rider on the right hand side. Lupanji's just trying to get damage off. Tornado, oh my goodness. This is just a story of this game. Tornado's on Hog every time he wants to play it. Not able to connect with this win condition. Here comes Ice Golem on the right hand side, but what do you got to stop this graveyard?
Ice Wizard can one-shot those skeletons, but he shoots so slowly with a poison added on top. This looks like the end. Donkey Kong gets the win 1-0 over Lupanji.
Wow, Donkey Kong, unbelievable.
And a 2-0 victory in the match overall. Absolutely dominating performance. And I love that the games also ended just as we reached overtime. They were, you know, just
there.
Just that 3 minute. He's getting them nice and quick for us.
Yeah, it's
nice
like sun and down.
No. Just
but
about.
That puts both these players 3-3 on the leaderboard.
Interesting. I hadn't noticed that. Yeah, you know, Lupanji was just a little bit ahead of him before this matchup, but tied at the very center. They're going to be competing to stay in the blue. These guys could potentially be contenders for top 2 spots, but they'd have to go on really strong win streaks. DK did make it to the number 2 spot in the spring season and got preferential seeding, if memory serves. But it's looking like that's going to be a difficult task to achieve now, just with an even 3-3 record.
Yeah, even 3-3 record, but looking really good, really strong with that 2-0. Maybe this is the time where he starts turning it around, makes a run, get jumped all the way up on that leaderboard, and gets in a very good position for next week to take over that green, perfect, the top 2 green preferential seating, like you were saying, spot. You definitely want those 2 spots.
Well, Donkey Kong, hot off his win, is going to be trying to go back on the up and up. Let's have a little bit to hear from him now. From Donkey Kong, we've got an interview for you guys.
I'm Samir, I'm from France, and in Clash Royale my name is Donkey Kong.
Pounding his chest, look at that beast!
When I was young, living in France, I enjoy playing soccer and Clash Royale are very similar. You have to respond really fast to your opponent's moves and think about how to win. I'm a defensive player. At the beginning of the battle, I want to know what type of decks my opponent plays. And when I figure out what type of decks is playing, I try to become more aggressive and beat it.
Yes! Donkey Kong gets it! Oh my god!
When I was in secondary school, I learned to swim because my teacher pushes me in the water. That day was very scary, but I learned a big lesson. Even if something seems impossible to you, if you try it with all your heart, you can succeed.
Donkey Kong for the victory! Look at that man standing strong.
Yeah, so Donkey Kong, one of the best, 2-0 versus Lupanji. Now 3-3, still in the blue, you know, still trying to climb to that green preferential seating. But now this next match that we have, Nem Sensei is coming out again. 0-6. This might be the biggest match of the entire tournament so far because 0-7, Woody.
That's pretty much eliminated. I don't see any way to get into the top 6 if you're at the 0-7 spot. Loe, on the other hand, is going to be fighting for a top 2 position. So neither of these guys are really working at the same goal at this point, but they both need the win. Loe with the Elixir Collector ban and Nem Sensei opting for the balloon. We've seen the balloon banned in just that last match. And chat, do you think that we're going to see some of the similar strategies that we just saw, or does the Elixir Collector ban change things up? Because Donkey Kong was making great use of Elixir Collector in those last 2 games.
Yeah, I think Elixir Collector changes it up a little bit because no triple muskies, no real golem pushes that are going to be coming out, which kind of changes, you know, the the aspects of the game, what kind of decks you want to play. You might not see that many P.E.K.K.A.s now, you know? You might see maybe more of like a Mega Knight shift. You can also see a lot of bait probably coming out here. It's going to be very interesting to see what these guys play. There is no balloon, so there's no real fear of that aerial, real Lava Hound assault.
That, I think, is the most interesting thing. It's the difference between Mega Day and Mega Knight. When you've got MK Balloon banned from the meta, it's just feels so much different. I think that's probably these guys' favorite card combinations of top players. They love playing Mega Knight Balloon, and it seems like pretty much every game, one of the cards crucial to that deck has been banned.
Yeah, we might be seeing this Mega Knight Hog Rider Archer deck from NemSensei, and it's looking like that is going to be the deck. Poison comes down from NemSensei on the left-hand side.
Mega Knight gets the jump off on that Bandit. She will be able to dash in if she gets some tanking, and yeah, the Miner's going to be there to help, but the log rolls through. Ooh, that was almost a pretty lucky break for Loe. If that log had been just a little bit different on timing, Bandit might have been able to dash straight through it.
Yeah. Loe, though.
And that's why he had to play that Ice Golem, by the way, because if the log had missed that Bandit, she could have gotten a ton of damage off the tower if the Ice Golem hadn't been there to block.
Yeah. And that's the difference between these games. You've seen how so many games are just so close within the last 100 damage of towers, where any little bit of damage you take on your tower now could be the difference between a victory or a defeat later on in the match.
It sure could. Loe's going to start off with a P.E.K.K.A. in the back. Big, heavy investment, but he was feeling confident after seeing that Night Witch come in. I think that the poison that Nim played there is going to be able to take out this E-Wiz and this P.E.K.K.A. without too much support. Oh, wow, I take that back. We're going to have a Bandit and Minion Swarm coming on in. But good defense here from Nem. I think that he'll have a positive elixir trade on the backside, but he's going to take some damage here on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, and soaking these minions.
And the thing about NemSensei is he's got to stop trying to play beatdown. Because he's
Graveyard.
Oh, Graveyard comes out.
Check that out. Night Witch right at the bridge. A very aggressive attack from NemSensei. Defensive poison. And NemSensei's got to be sad about that, man. That was the last card in Loe's deck. I think that he was relying on it being Fireball or some other type of spell. This is not good at all.
NemSensei just keeps on running these interesting off-meta beatdown kind of decks, but everybody's just running P.E.K.K.A. versus him.
Yeah.
It's like when you're running uphill and there's a P.E.K.K.A.
It's like you're running uphill and there's a bicycle right next to you. What? Just get on the bike. NemSensei, there's so many great decks out there. But, you know, sometimes you just got to do it your own way. Night Witch in the center here. Wow, an aggressive
Graveyard on the left. Oh, the minions. No poison, no elixir for the poison, and minions are easily just going to clear that up.
NemSensei's attacks have really got to be those big, heavy beatdown styles, but how can he compete against Loe, who's running P.E.K.K.A.? Chops through those Mega Knight pushes every single time.
Yeah, and then the Miner chip just on the right-hand side after he gets the elixir trade, after he gets the positive elixir from when NemSensei has to drop his Graveyard.
And Loe is just playing this so conservatively, safely, just roll a log in there whenever you get a chance, send in the Miner, never really having to worry about getting one big connection. Oh, he's going to go in for the right side push here. We got a Bandit Miner minion attack. Poison gets the job done pretty much on the left side over there. We're going to take a little bit of damage. Actually, NemSensei just about going the distance there. Almost got it down to triple digits, but Loe
in poison log range.
Yep. Remember, it's 240 damage from the poison and 96 for the log. So if you can do some quick math real quick, you should be able to figure out that Loe has got this thing in the bag. Rolls it through, and that's a 1-0 win for the German.
Yeah, and that's game over. Loe just running P.E.K.K.A. versus NemSensei. NemSensei keeps on trying to reinvent the wheel with his beatdown decks. You got to give him credit for that, but people just keep on running P.E.K.K.A. And when you're running, you know, pretty much just these immovable objects slowly down the field, then you have P.E.K.K.A.s coming out and just completely chopping them down left and right. It's never going to get to the tower. It's just too heavy of a deck to really do anything versus this P.E.K.K.A. style meta. But let's get into the replay coming out here. Woody, what's going on?
We got a Bandit dashing in that left side. NemSensei soaks it, and I think that's a pretty good call here. He tries to get an attack in over on the left side with a Mega Minion soaking for the Graveyard, but he's just so low on hit points, and that right side is going down, man. Minor Poison Log. It's not a big hit, but it's consistent, reliable damage, and Loe leveraged it very well in this match.
Yeah, and he had the minions for the graveyard. One push Nem Sensei did. He didn't have poison in rotation. Minions were easily able to clear that out. That allowed Loe to go hard on the right-hand side, do a ton of damage, and just Nem Sensei just never able to formulate a push big enough to really do damage. The one time where he had that Night Witch graveyard on the left-hand side, that was the push to get him right back in the game. Unfortunately, Loe had that poison on defense that completely shut down the graveyard.
The thing about graveyard is you really need a big elixir advantage to be able to pull off a heavy hit. Now, at only 5 elixir cost, it is one of the cheapest cards that can actually just totally tear a tower down, especially if you have a tank out in front soaking shots from the tower, because tower can kill those skeletons in one hit. But anything that can deal splash damage on the back, swatting away at skeletons, or anything that has multiple units in the card, something like minions, it's a very cheap and easy way to just take them out. Graveyard lasting only 9 seconds now instead of 10. It recently got its duration reduced. Has just not been performing quite as well in competitive matches. And as you saw right there, having difficulty getting the big push together necessary to take that left side down. It was just consistent minor poison damage on the right that finally finished off Nem Sensei.
Yeah, and especially the second damage nerf, Minions poison at 8 seconds, graveyard at 9 seconds. You poison 1 second late on the graveyard, the poison the entire duration of the graveyard just clears it out. You don't really get much chip from the skeletons. And the Night Witch, yes, he had the elixir lead. Yes, he pushed, just didn't know what big spell Loe had. Loe had the answer. And Nem Sensei now, looking 0-1, he needs this game, I think, for his fall season.
Yep. It's all on the line here right now, man. Do or die. Down 0-1 right now. Nem Sensei is building his deck. He's got to be thinking hard about what he can use with Balloon and Elixir Collector banned. I think that in the past, what has Nem Sensei had success with? I think he runs typically bigger decks, right? He plays the P.E.K.K.A. He plays Mega Knight. I think that he would be pretty well advised by just taking a page out of Loe's book, running a big, heavy control deck, and trying to slow things down, not trying to, pull one over against one of the top players in the world. I think that he's an amazing defender. He's great on technical plays, but he's just relying too much on his opponents having to make a mistake in order for his attacks to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I think the big thing that made him great in the spring season was he ran a lot of those giant Night Witch, interesting variants of the giant deck that was kind of working because the P.E.K.K.A. really didn't take over yet, Now, all we see is P.E.K.K.A., is Mega Knight, is just big, heavy units that shut down beatdown, that shut down the golem decks. There's really only one golem deck right now in the entire meta that works, and that's the golem deck that has only zap as its spell. So, there's not really much to maneuver around if you're a beatdown player, and I think he's just stuck in a situation where the meta kind of just, if you can take away his pump with the bans, as you're showing here, bans really affect players who are not only one-deck ponies, but one-dimensional style players, like beatdown player, control player, siege player. If you can only play like one style and you can't adapt to control and beatdown, it really shows here. And I think that's what you're seeing for the Sensei, struggling to really adapt and saying, I'm not going to go control because I don't want to go in a control versus control matchup with you.
I agree with that. Bans force you out of your comfort zone. I think that is plainly obvious, and anyone who's pro or against bans would be able to agree on that. It relies on players, though, who have familiarity with so many different decks and the ability to play them at the very top level of competitive Clash Royale. And if you got your one deck that you love on ladder, or as you call them, one deck ponies who have mastered one archetype, if you're not able to play it, it's not worth a whole lot for you here in CCGS. You may be able to be getting as many wins in a grand challenge as anyone else, going 12, 12, 12 day in and day out. But CCGS is a completely different beast, and it's something a little bit different from your standard Clash Royale ladder gameplay or challenge match.
Yeah, and it's not only that, it's you're playing the best 10 players in the region. So if you're not playing a deck that you're really, really comfortable with, or an archetype that you're really not comfortable with, and what I mean by archetype is the control-oriented decks, or the beatdown, or the siege, it kind of takes you out of your comfort zone, and I kind of feel like Nem Sensei's in that awkward position of, I need to run something else, but I don't want to, you know?
Yeah.
And hopefully, for his sake, he, switches it up, goes to a minor, and takes care of business.
Well, guys, we're waiting on that game just the same as you, but before we hop into the next game of this match with Loe and Nem Sensei, why don't we listen to one of the players themselves? Loe has got an interview for you guys. Enjoy.
My name is Badr and my in-game name is Loe. My aim in Clash Royale is to be one of the best. I am from Iraq. I was born in Mosul. Life in Iraq was a little bit tough, and because of that I'm really grateful for my parents that they decided to move to Germany. Moving was difficult at start, but it really helped me to learn new languages, new cultures, meet new people, and we have a bright future here. When I started playing Clash Royale, I named myself Bornoche. After a couple of months, I stopped playing, so my brother used my account and he changed my name to Loe. I was stuck with it because I didn't have a name change. My favorite Clash Royale cards are the Three Musketeers because I really like cycle decks and it's really fun to play. My parents raised me really good, so it's really important for me to make them proud. With good practice with my teammates, I think I have a good chance to win the CCGS. My name is Loe and I'm coming for the crown.
And we're starting off with the second game of this match now in Chatton. Looks like we got some log bait from Nem Sensei. Loe playing a pretty light and breezy deck here, too.
Yeah, he's got a fireball coming out. Goblin barrel on the right-hand side. Log. Gonna be an uphill battle for Nem Sensei. Log and fireball.
Yeah, lots of different spell options for Loe to be able to take out those pushes on the bottom.
And there's the Expo.
Oh, Nem Sensei's got a rocket. It is a 6-for-6 trade. Expo does get a few hits off, but this is a pretty hard matchup for the logbait deck in general, right?
Yeah, this is a hard counter. This is not gonna be fun for Nem Sensei here.
Yeah, you see him shaking his head and trying to figure out what he could possibly do against this deck. You know, I've been playing Expo a little bit in challenges recently, and I don't always win against logbait. That might be a testament more to my skill or more to how well the logbait players can adapt to this game. But it's going to be very difficult for Nem Sensei just because it's going to be hard for him to get damage on one single tower. Logbait deck love being able to play across the entire arena. And whenever you're forced to kind of play down one lane, the way that this Expo can force you to dump a ton of troops or play a big old rocket, you run out of options for being able to actually tear a tower down.
Yeah, this interesting logbait deck from Nem Sensei here. He's got a Tombstone instead of an Inferno Tower, so he's not going to have that big, heavy building to really clear it out and soak damage in times of need. But Tombstone definitely does do a decent job at soaking the Expo. So let's see if he could maybe catch Loe off guard, and he maybe not have played that many Expos versus Tombstones in bait decks. So we're going to have to find out, but here comes the cycle from Loe. He's just trying to cycle to his Expos, and if Nem Sensei is left without a rocket or anything really to stop the Expo, it's going to be a very, very uphill battle for him in this match.
It will indeed, and Loe's playing the full range of the arena, left, right, and center with that last Expo. I think it's great tactical plays from Nem Sensei here. He's trying to get the stabs in wherever he can, but Loe is playing equally good defense and never giving up an opportunity for Nem Sensei to get an attack in. Another Expo rolling in. This could be a pretty good rocket if Nem Sensei can get the elixir onto those archers as well. Oh, catches one of them, not too bad. Knight Princess push out the right side is also making its way toward the tower. I think that this entire push is going to go down pretty soon, though.
Yeah, Mega Minion just continuing to swipe, taking care of everything. Fireball on the left-hand side, and he's going to Fireball cycle. I think Loe is going into his Fireball cycle, and Sensei needs to realize that this is happening to him.
Dang, those logs, so value.
Otherwise, this is going to be a bad matchup.
You're absolutely right. Ooh, nice Ice Spirit there. Pulled that Mega Minion a little bit toward the Expo. Sensei was happy about that one. Winds up being a 9-for-7 trade in his favor. But he hasn't really ever connected with a tower. It's just Loe throwing fireballs at that left side endlessly while Sensei tries to get connection. And, you know, Fireball and Rocket are both pretty solid options in this deck. And Chat, do you have any familiarity with how those both play and what the Fireball pick from Loe means?
For which matchup? Just in general?
Picking Fireball in an Expo deck, yeah, over Rocket.
Oh, picking Fireball in an Expo deck over Rocket allows you to be able to get that wider area of range, so you're able to hit princesses that are dropped on the opposite side, so you're able to connect with the tower and the princess. You're also able to cycle a little bit faster through your deck, as well as that's concerned. And the good part about it is he's always able to cycle to his log in time to have it for the Goblin Barrel. As opposed to if he had the Rocket, you're never really going to be able to play the Rocket in the matchup until the tower really only has 493 life on it.
That's right. And this is starting to look like a game that could almost go to a 0-0 draw. The Fireball cycle from Loe is pretty strong here. And since he's got to punish that Elixir if he wants to be able to hang on. 1832 on Loe's left side, 2042 on his right. I don't think there's any way that a Logbait deck's gonna be able to chip that down quickly enough.
No. The archers are just slowly chipping, plus...
Ooh. Nice log out the right side from Nim Sensei. Did get a few Gobbo stabs from the barrel onto that tower. And great place from Nim Sensei. I love that he's able to catch these oncoming attacking Mega Minions. Oh, the jab on the back! An Ice Spirit to defend does keep some of the damage off the tower, but Nim Sensei is putting the pressure on Loe now, and that's the sort of thing that he needs to do if he doesn't want to die to Fireball cycle. Look, another Fireball, another Fireball. It's just going to be 2 more and a log on top.
Yeah, this is going to be really close.
But can he get it in 30 seconds? I don't think Loe has got enough time.
I don't think he's got enough juice either. It's just not enough
time, not enough juice, not getting any of those Expos to cycle. Whoa, yeah, well, he gets a Fireball.
Nim Sensei's got to go all in right now, though.
He's got to force spells off that left side tower.
Oh my goodness, he's not going to log here. Oh no,
Nim Sensei.
That's it. It's over.
Fireball's going to fly, right? Loe's got the Elixir right now.
That's it, it's GG. Oh no, Nim Sensei.
Heartbreaker of a loss, but Loe's got that full 6 minutes to try to tear a tower down, and if Nim Sensei can't put a big enough push together, why not just go for the Fireball cycle?
Yeah, I mean, Nim Sensei needed to realize a little bit earlier that Loe was going into a Fireball cycle and not overcommitted with too many Goblin Barrels and said, if you're going to Fireball cycle me out like this, I'm going to rocket you every single time you Fireball me. I'm not going to waste my Goblin Barrels, which you have 3 different counters for.
Yeah.
But let's look at this replay. Goblin Barrel comes in at the end. Loe's just trying to cycle to his Fireball. Log doesn't do enough damage here. And that's just the story of the game, just never being able to get enough damage on one single push. And Loe, Fireball cycling. And there it is. GG. Loe gonna take the victory. Nim Sensei now gonna lose another game.
Very close. 0-7 now, Nim Sensei. But another win for Loe means he's going back to the top. Let's see what Trid has to say in the locker room.
Thanks very much, Woody. What an incredibly close game there between Nim Sensei and Loe. Unfortunately, that means Nim Sensei still yet to find a victory. But of course, we've had 4 games so far, so let's check in and see how the scores are going so far. Check in with our schedule. But if you remember, we had a great match between Soaking and Loe to begin things off. Sorry, Soaking and Ice Lord to kick things off. Soaking, of course, taking that 2-0. There we go. Nim Sensei's first defeat of the day, taking him to 0-6. Baron picks up a victory. Donkey Kong takes down Lupanji, and we just saw Loe take a 2-0 against Nim Sensei again. We've got a couple of great matches coming up for you, though, afterwards, though. Adam versus Surgical Goblin is up next. We teased that at the beginning. Logbait King versus Just the King. And as we move on to the next day, Baron gets another attempt at Donkey Kong, and it's just not getting easier for Nim Sensei. He's going up against Soaking, who's one of the better players, or the better ranked players in the season so far. Moving down, Surgical Goblin versus Ice Law, Loe versus Ice Law as well. So he's got some tough matches ahead. And of course, the last game of the day, Donkey Kong versus Soaking, which I'm really looking forward to. So make sure you stick around to see how that one pans out. But with the results we've seen, the leaderboard hasn't really changed that much, if I'm honest with you. If we just take a quick look at how things are going, Soaking now 5-1, Loe 5-2. So Loe may have moved position and knocked Ice Law out of the top, but he's got a couple of games to come. Maybe he can get himself back in there. But Donkey Kong, he's managed to get himself up that position into the blue, and Surge, he's moved up a position, but that's off of other people's results. Adam making some progress in that bottom half of the league because he hasn't got that extra loss that Baron has done so, but still the story, we're going to keep hammering it home. Nem Sensei yet to pick up a victory. He's had 7 matches so far. He's only got 11 to go. It's the danger. He's in the danger zone. Let's put it no other than that. He is going to have to win a lot of matches in the upcoming weeks, but we still have more Clash Royale action for you, so we're going to send it back over to Woody and Enchantin.
Thank you, Trid. Yes, this is going to be a nice matchup. Surgical Goblin making his first appearance for today. He, after losing 2 matches previous week, the winner of the spring season, definitely wants to get back on top, and the road to get back on top is through Adam.
Brutal. Adam just a road bump on Surge's path to victory. But hey, man, I've seen pretty big road bumps being able to take out a car before. You know, you try to go through fast. Try to go through them too fast.
Look what happened last week, though, with Surgical Goblin.
Yeah.
So confident, was ready to steamroll. Dropped the last 2, dropped to Loe, dropped to Soaking. And I think Adam is going to make, you know, maybe make an upset here and take down Surgical Goblin. I mean, Surgical Goblin did lose his last 2 matches, so anything can happen. Wow, a Spear Goblin.
Okay, yep, that's another throwaway ban from Adam. We hardly ever see Spear Goblins being used in competitive play, especially because the Goblin Gang pretty much gets the same job done. But Surge choosing to ban Miner means he does not want to go up against the more slow, control-based decks. Not something that Adam has really been playing a whole lot of. He uses Logbait typically, right?
Yeah, Logbait from Adam Miner. Interesting ban. I mean, his second deck is like a P.E.K.K.A. Miner deck for Adam, but I mean, maybe Surgical Goblin says, I'm going to counter your Logbait, beat me with your third deck. So probably he's going to be running Mega Knight Miner. I would say Surgical's going to think he kind of put him in a situation where you're going to run a Mega Knight Miner. Surgical Goblin's probably going to come out ready for that with maybe a P.E.K.K.A. control, but you know, to make sure he still has enough spells, maybe even, you know, a triple spell kind of combination just to deal with the Logbait as well and kind of control the match. Adam has some thinking to do for this first match because it's going to be very, very crucial. What does he play in this first match, knowing that he's such a prominent Logbait player? What do you think's going through his mind right now, Woody, when the Miner just got banned?
Well, you can always try to mix it up just a little bit, you know, to swap out one card for another and try to run the same deck archetype. You know, Spear Goblins doesn't really hurt him at all. Surgical Goblin going for the pump. I see a lightning strikes at the left lane. Surge is just going to soak that damage, as you know, there's not a whole lot that you can really do to stop a lightning strike. Ice Spirit does roll on in though, and Surge with that elixir advantage is going to start off with bats in the back, splitting them 2 down the right, 3 on the right, or 2 on the left, 3 on the right.
Well, hey, listen, if you're from Surgical, actually, you were right the first time on Surgical's point of view. That's 3 on the right, 2 on the left.
Hey, yeah. Actually, yeah.
you were next level. You were 20. Right. You were 2045 on that.
Mega Knight rolling in the right lane, and Surge is going to add on top of that as well. He loves that Ice Spirit, and he's going to get quite a bit of use of. Ooh, Ice Spirit jumping all over the arena.
Oh, that tornado is just going to make the Mega Knight jump again.
But why? Oh, jumps onto the Knight. Okay, I see you, Adam. I see what you're doing there. He's playing a Hog Lightning Executioner deck. And can get pretty good value against things like bats and minions. It's going to be up to Adam to finish off these big old Mega Knights, which they're not too worried about Lightning Executioner. Doesn't deal enough damage to him.
Well, so far, there's no lightning targets in Surgical Goblin's deck. I mean, there's kind of one, but not really.
The pump is kind of the only thing you're really comfortable playing against it, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Double low-cost spells. Like we were saying, Surgical Goblin takes 2 low spells for the bait variant, and right now, guess what? Adam doesn't have bait.
Well, in chat, and here's the thing. That big old lightning strike out the left side actually leaves Adam quite far ahead in damage. 1651 on the left, and it's up to Surge to turn this elixir advantage into a damage advantage. Moving hard in the left lane. Defensive Executioner, what do we got?
This is an interesting deck from Surgical Goblin. If you look at it, it's a Mega Knight beatdown deck. He's got to get the Mega Knight to the tower, otherwise he's going to lose this game.
And Lightning Cycle on the left. Why is Surgical Goblin playing those elixir collectors out there? That right side is a lot more safer of an option if he wants to just get a little bit of juice in without allowing Adam to throw lightnings at the tower, and now he's going on the right side.
The only thing I can think about is maybe he's trying to bait Adam into playing it.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing really to catch that.
Wow, that's not a good lightning at all. This is going to be...
Dang.
Oh, wow, he gets
That's a ballsy move.
Wow, that is...
He'll get the jump off. Knight defending here, but it's up to Adam.
How is he going to defend this?
Way. He's got to get a tornado in there. I think that's what he's waiting on. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but he's down so much elixir right now because the pump is fresh because of the lightning on the left-hand side.
True. Down to 863. Adam needs a good hit. That's not too much damage to have to get to. But how is he going to be able to pull it off when he can't get Hog Riders to hit? Lightning Cycle's basically been his best option.
Oh,
man. Double Mega Knight.
Oh,
wow. Mega Knight.
Mega Knight Lightning, they don't care about lightning.
No, they don't at all.
They just laughed at that lightning. Oh, wow. Oh, my God, Bandit! Oh, my goodness!
We keep that Mega Knight off the tower, though. Adam's going to hold on just a little bit longer. 602 health at the left as he moves in once again with a Knight now. Surge has kind of spent his elixir advantage, and at this point, Adam is back in the game. He's not in a confident lead, but he's got a shot here. I think Adam is in a better position than it may appear from the last couple of exchanges here.
Surge has no big spell to take down the tower, so he's got to really get another nice connection.
Right, and Adam, with his logbait skills, is just so good at defense, and that's what he's doing right now, just defending and throwing spells onto the left tower. Surge with a big old Mega Knight now. Oh, but
Mega Knight jump! Oh my!
Lightning log will be enough. Adam's got that thing in lightning range, but he has to defend this one last time.
Wow, good tornado. Beautifully played by Adam here.
Knight's gonna beat the Mega Knight, and I think that this is going to be a win for Adam. And chat,
ooh, yeah, that's it. 346.
Throw one more spell and you got it. Adam gets the lightning hit.
Wow.
Don't even need to play Logbait to beat him this time. Adam with the 1-0 lead over Surgical Goblin.
Beautiful, beautiful. The thing though, Surgical not having anything to take out that Executioner, just continuing to just throw the X's out, takes care of the minions, takes care of the bats, especially with Tornado. He had a couple of value tornadoes in that game, just mwah.
Like Mama's Meatballs?
Oh, even better at that point.
Better than Mama's
defense.
Meatballs.
And like you said though, Adam using the spell cycle, lightning slowly chipping off on the tower, just got it down in time. Let's take a look at the end of this match.
Toward the end here, this is where Adam was behind an elixir, but finally starting to recoup that juice advantage and being able to push back against Surgical Goblin. You can see he's way down in damage right now, and Surge has been putting together big pushes the whole match. There was even a time when we saw 2 Mega Knights coming in from Surgical Goblin at the same time. And they deal a lot of splash damage, but good defensive Knights and throwing tornadoes, just like you said, at the very right time, means that the Executioner was able to chop him down, and 6 of 3 health, that left side tower stood up.
Yeah. Hey, if you win the game with 1 HP on your tower, a win is a win.
Oh, check out this double Mega Knight. Thank you.
Double Mega Knight. This is what we want. John Cena has been shown in Clash Royale, the double Mega Knight. Bandit, though, this is the play of the game, though. The Bandit just getting tornadoed all the way in. And look at the
catch with that Ice Spirit. So beautiful.
The value of that Executioner, and then the Knight protecting the tower from the Mega Knight domination. He only had 200 life on the tower. If that Mega Knight hits, game would have been over.
Yep.
Beautiful.
But it didn't. Adam, with the excellent defense, manages to hold on to that left side tower and just keeps up the pressure the whole game. You never let Surgical Goblin get another hit on you for the rest of the match, Adam, and kudos to you for that. Even throwing lightning away, just dumping Elixir on that left side tower, Surge was still unable to punish. I think he was just waiting for a big attack from Adam to go on the counterattack again and finally finish that thing off, but the attack never came. It was just spell cycle and then defend and spell cycle. You win.
The super risky lightning allowed Surgical Goblin to get down to second Mega Knight and just wasn't able to connect. Beautiful tornado. He dropped the Surgical Goblin, dropped the Bandit and the Ice Spirit. Guess what? That got tornadoed right into an Executioner. And that's the difference. Perfectly played by Adam, just like you said. Defense, defense, defense. Won him that game. And now we're going to go into match number 2. Surgical Goblin. Can he come back and take this match? Once again, Adam with the lightning. Is he going to be running the same deck, Woody?
I don't want to say same deck, even though it did work pretty well last time. Lightning isn't too popular right now, though, so maybe, you know what, I'll change my mind. This might actually be, if not the same deck, a very similar one. We got Knight in there as well, so that's at least 3 cards that are the same. Adam clearly has been practicing with this deck a whole lot, getting the win against Surge, and yeah, he's got bats as well. Could have the same win condition of a Hog Rider. There it is, moving in the right lane. Log to protect the Hog as it rolls through those Goblins.
And it looks like Surgical Goblin's running the beatdown variant of the triple Muskies. There's the pump from Surge. Surge is just waiting for double Elixir to really assert the dominance. And the problem that Adam has is his deck is just so heavy that in double Elixir time, he needs to end this game pretty much.
Can we just appreciate for a fact that Adam used an Ice Spirit to take out that minion horde and was willing to soak about 500 damage out the right lane? Surgical Goblin is not happy right now. Adam did just dump his lightning to hit that pump, though. Surge is really spamming the emotes today, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right, 2 more Muskies going down the right lane, 1 on the left with an Ice Golem to block. Surge applying pressure on the left with this Bandit. 2 Muskies are going to be able to take out that Executioner. They lock the tower and they'll get a shut off, but Ice Spirit finishes off that Bandit out the left, and Adam's defense is just looking so good.
Yeah. Good defense by Adam. Hog Rider on the left-hand side. Minion Horde with.
That was clutch.
Yeah.
Look at the formation of those minions, too. They just, like, swarm in.
They got, like, that V formation.
Yeah.
You know, like birds flying together.
Yeah. It was like a reverse V. Turn around, minions. What are you doing? Oh, no.
Oh, no. And that might be it. I think it's it.
Adam just threw away a lightning and missed the Elixir Collector. Surgical Goblin up 6 juice now. I think that's probably gonna be a win. I mean, how can you stop Surge with 6 more Elixir? It might not happen on this very push right here, but Surge is banking up right now, and this is a big push up left.
Lightning took it out, but guess
lightning.
what? There's gonna be the whole entire family on this left-hand side. Bandit coming out, gonna get stopped by the Knight. Tornado comes in. Log from Surge isn't gonna get anything, but here comes, oh wow, that Bandit just...
So Adam shuts the push down, but Surgical Goblin has just got so much more Elixir than him right now. 2 pumps out, and great defense against these Hogs. I mean, he might get 1 hit over there, but that left side tower is still pretty healthy. This could be a clutch Tornado Executioner combo here. Look out on the right, though. We got another Bandit dashing on in. It's the Ice Spirits from Adam that are so amazing, though.
Yeah, 3 pumps by Surgical Goblin. Here comes the Knight and the Executioner on the left-hand side with a Hog Rider. Ice Golem to protect. The Minion Horde gonna clutch this out. Beautifully placed. Log by Surgical Goblin doesn't take any damage. The Bandit gonna phase! Cycled to another Executioner, but here it is. Ice Golem on the right-hand side with a Minion Horde.
Another push up the right,
able to push. Tornado!
Ice Spirit Tornado gets the job done. That's a 4 Elixir investment on defense to take out that 7 Elixir push by Surgical Goblin. And then that is how Adam is trying to turn things around. He's got to use very clever defensive options that make the most out of super cheap cards like Ice Spirit.
Yes, Surgical Goblin just needs to get that last push, 700 damage on the left-hand tower. Here comes an Ice Golem with double Muskies on the right. There's a Minion Horde!
Whoa!
Whoa, the
he
Bandit!
Caught a lightning with something. And
I think the Bandit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the Bandit. Log, though. Oh, no,
dude.
Surge.
I wish I could throw an Ice Spirit Tornado as well as Adam can, just destroying these pushes. It's not a whole lot of splash damage, but it's enough to kill minions, and that's pretty much the only thing that's presenting a major threat by Surge here.
Yeah, and there's the
lightning on the left side.
There's the bandit on the right-hand side, though. Oh, my goodness. The only thing he has is a tornado. He's got to play it. Tornado, but it's not going to stop the Musketeer. Musketeer
gets the jump. Musketeer still alive. Logger down.
Oh, but now he doesn't have the log for the Goblin Gang on the left-hand side with the bandit. This is it. It's over. Goblins, log. Surge takes game number 2.
Tears from Surge.
I'm not quite sure why he logged the Musketeer on the right.
I guess he felt like he was probably going to take 2 or 3 pop shots at least from that Musketeer. It would have gotten that right side really far down. You know, there wasn't any big spell in Surgical Goblin's deck to be able to finish that thing off, but dang, he is really letting Adam know what's going on with those tears at the end. Can we talk about that for a sec?
Oof, I mean, that's something you want to do to your opponent. I think he's playing a mind game with Adam right now.
You gotta
100%.
in there.
I think he knew he really wasn't going to be able to win that game, but the pump missed lightning on that pump, though. Allowed him to get down to triple pumps, allowed him to control the pace of that game, allowed him to not lose a tower kind of early, and then just started to snowball, just get a chip here, a chip there, and always apply pressure on Adam, so Adam was never able to get that last lightning cycle push on Surgical Goblin, which could have won him the game, but when you're dealing with, you know, the 6 elixir kind of just thrown out the window on just a little bit of damage on the pump, on the tower, not the pump. He missed the pump. Puts the favor for Surgical Goblin. Now Surgical Goblin winning with the counter deck is going to take it down. Let's look at the replay where Surgical Goblin has triple pumps on the field. And look at how he's just controlling this game. What's going on in this game with these triple pumps from Surge?
Triple pumps were the punish for that missed lightning, but Adam is making great use out of Tornado Ice Spirit the whole game, and that's really what kept him in there for so long. If you had told me that Adam would miss a lightning onto a pump and then still put this game so close in overtime, I would have been dumbstruck. But he still managed to do it, and even though he dropped the game there, he's showing a lot of skill with this secondary deck. You know, we've almost only seen Adam succeed with Logbait. He's won games with other decks before, but it shows that he's actually really quite comfortable playing this sort of setup since he just has played the same deck twice in a row and has even beaten Surge with it once.
Yeah, the second deck that we've seen out of Adam was the Miner deck, which Surgical banned the Miner, so there's no Miner. And as you said, the third deck coming out here from Adam, must have been practicing this a lot this week, was ready for either that Miner ban or the bait ban. He was ready. Now, Executioner Hog playing it beautifully. I mean, just like you said, 3 pumps down, defended like a champion. And now game 3 happens here. Surgical Goblin trying to get in his head with those emotes, trying to be like, I just beat you because you missed that lightning. But, you know?
I think it's the hardest hit whenever you know that you've dealt the killing blow to yourself. But we've got a great 1-1 draw between these two guys. We're going to go to a tiebreaker game. I'd love to hear from one of the players first, though. In chat, if only we could hear from Surgical Goblin right now.
Yo, what is up, guys? Surgical Goblin here, and welcome to this new episode. Clash Royale changed my life a lot because first I didn't have a YouTube channel. I began making YouTube videos because after my first live event, people were interested in my playstyle and in my decks, and they asked me to start a YouTube channel. So I decided to give it a chance, and it went out really well. In today's video, I'm going to share this Logbait deck. As you guys can see, average elixir cost 3.3 elixir. So this is the camping in Alma. This is where my YouTube career started, there in that house. After uploading consistent each week, I saw that my channel kept growing, and from then I knew that I could have success in the YouTube. So if I would be new to the game and if I would be watching one of my videos, I think I could learn a lot mechanic-wise with placements, for example, placing troops in the back instead of in the front. And many other tips like which card counters which card. It has been really consistent in the meta right now, especially in competitions. I've been doing really good with it. I hope the Clashers watching my videos can learn from it, they can improve their gameplay. This is fun for me because I have something I'm good in and I can share it with other people as well. And so far it has been an amazing experience. So today in this episode I will play some live battles in a grand challenge and I will give you guys some tips on the deck.
You know, in chat, I think I noticed a new card in that last matchup. Marino14 pointed it out for me in chat. Did you see the bike goblin in that last one?
The bike goblin?
Yeah, there was a goblin riding a bike through a little
like,
a little park there. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah, he had a red shirt on. He said he likes to make YouTube videos.
I think I did see that.
Yeah?
I mean, it's going to be interesting. Maybe a little sneak peek there. Maybe Clash Royale was throwing a little sneak peek action at
Goblin's
the
already
new card.
moved very fast. How fast can they go on a bike though? Just go straight for the tower.
You know what though? I think there's going to be a new speed in the game. I think it's going to
yeah?
be called Surgical.
Ludicrous speed.
Speed.
Surgical speed.
Surgical shot. Go. Shot. Let's get into match number 3 between Surgical Goblin and Adam. Currently 1-1 here. Can Adam get this victory, turn to 3-3, or will Surgical Goblin take the victory, moving him up to 5-2?
Little snowball fight here as they throw ice spirits at each other.
Once again,
Adam could have got it in his King Tower activated with that tornado though, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tornado can activate a Goblin Barrel if you get the placement right, but pretty safe option there, just trying to keep the damage off that right side tower. It does get stabbed down to 23-33.
I'm surprised he's running the exact same deck 3 times in a row.
I mean, Surge is going to throw a log bait at the Master of Log Bait. Is he going to be able to pull it off, though? We saw last week it
I think
not
he is.
go very well for Nim Sensei.
I think it is just because Rocket is just so strong versus Executioner.
Yeah.
That
we got the same deck 3 times in a row from Adam, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was practicing this deck all day, all night for the past 6 days.
Bats up top. We'll be able to take out this Knight on the right lane.
Hog Rider on the left.
Can we get a log rolling through? No. Inferno Tower catches. That's an expensive investment from Surge on defense. And the Lightning Punish finishes off the tower and the Princess, getting down that side as well.
Ton of elixir, though.
Ooh, he saw that juke barrel from a mile away. Adam is a pro with log bait and knew exactly where to roll the log to take out that big old barrel.
I'm surprised Surgical even tried that.
2 for 3 trade on defense as well. Bats to take out the Princess, and Adam has got to be feeling confident. They're still both above 2,000 hit points, and you know Adam actually hasn't managed to get too much damage off on Surge yet, but that's just such a great moral victory when you roll a log all the way back to take out that juke barrel.
Yeah, the good thing about Adam is he has the lightning for the Inferno Tower, and the tower can connect with both and shut it down. Barrels coming out on the right-hand side. Ooh, oh man, that chips. Oh, that chip.
Not getting his King Tower activated. I thought you were able to do that with Tornado.
Yeah, you are, but he's just not really making the right tornado plays. And now it's too late to even try to activate it. And this is dangerous. Oh no, this is going to be a ton of damage. Beautiful Ice Spirit there.
That Tornado at the very end did manage to get the defense done. The deed done.
The deed done. Well, here comes a Hog Rider without a log, so this is not going to get much damage. It does take a shot off on the left-hand side. Executioner on the left. Interesting. That allows the barrel to come out behind that rocket. Oh, my goodness! Wow! The damage from Surgical Goblin! Unbelievable barrel.
Unbelievable. Hits that right side tower hard. You know, you're able to see where the juke barrel is flying if you could actually see the barrel, but with a rocket disguising where it was flying, Adam just could not get the read on where that thing was, man.
Oh, that was, I mean, it was in the air somewhere. Somewhere under the sea.
Lightning hits the left side, but Rocket beats Lightning in the cycle game, and that's what Surgical Goblin's going to go for. He just needs one more Rocket to finish things off, and it's looking like Adam is running out of options here.
And this is it. It's Surgical Goblin surgically placed that Rocket barrel.
Oh, he did it how?
Surgical.
Oh, wow. A chat, and I've never heard that before.
I mean, I've never heard of a goblin on a bicycle, but apparently we're learning some new things every day.
Surgical rubs his hands. He's just taking out the trash. The 2-1 victory over the Lord of the Log Bait, Adam. And Surge is making a play back toward the top now. What does that put his total record at? I believe it's 5-2.
5-2.
Right alongside Loe.
Yep. Strong performance from Surgical Goblin. Unbelievable barrel. If you're watching this from home, Rocket on the right, hitting behind the barrel. Let's take a look at this replay here. There's the barrel behind the Rocket, and the log misses from Adam, and the Goblins gobble that tower down into Rocket cycle range, where Adam was just never able to recover from that.
Nope. Surgical Goblin played fantastically on defense and forced Adam to split up his attacks left and right side lane. You saw Hog Riders moving in both sides, but in front of the tower, pretty much always there to catch him. And even though it's a negative elixir trade, you're dropping a 5 elixir building to try to stop a 4 elixir attacker.
Yeah.
It keeps the damage off tower, and if you can generate that elixir in different ways by just playing smart defense, you'll eventually get the win. And look, Surgical Goblin throwing 9 elixir at that right side tower toward the end. A rocket and a barrel. How can you do that in Chatton?
You can do it when you perfectly play on defense. You saw he set it up where he had, I believe, the Goblin Gang shut down the Hog Rider on that side because he knew he wasn't going to be able to log the, I think he was hoping that he logged with that Hog so he'd be able to, you know, easily shut it down and then throw that rocket, you know, and then barrel without any, you know, log to defend it. But here's the thing. You throw that rocket with that barrel. You can't see where that barrel's going. That barrel's going left, that barrel's going right. But let's take a look at this next match between Soking and Nem Sensei.
Nem Sensei's 3rd match of the day. He's 0-2 today, 0-7 overall. We got 2 big heavy bans, though. Both of the 7 elixir ground troops, P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Knight, are not going to be used at all in these games in Chatton.
Yeah, 7 elixir off the board. Big heavy, the heaviest units in the game, gone. So now it's going to be very interesting to see what's played. Is there going to be some Golem? I mean, the best part for Nem Sensei is he can take a huge, deep sigh of relief here. There's going to be no more P.E.K.K.A.s versus him. He's going to be able to run his beatdown style, which he loves. How is Soking going to be able to shut that down is the question, Woody. What kind of deck do you think is going to be coming out from Soking, knowing that Nem Sensei probably is going to be running a pump?
I think that they're both going to be running just big ground-based beatdown attacks. We might see a little bit of tricky play from Nem Sensei. He's shown that he likes playing decks that are a little bit unconventional. So I don't want to count like a Lava Hound sort of deck out, but
oh
wow, big old rocket on the left side.
Damn, where's OG when you want him? Because that's value. That's
some
a positive elixir trade.
That's juicy right there.
That's some vitamin C, D, E, and F.
Ooh, taste the sun. We got a Knight balloon out the right side, just trying to cycle a big push right at the beginning here. Nem Sensei throwing it all on the line. Soking going to defend with a Tombstone to distract an Ice Wizard.
A lot of elixir.
That is a lot of elixir, but the balloon's getting awfully close.
Ooh,
Tornado comes in. And I think the Mega Minion will be able to swipe this push down. The right side does go down to 2150. Oh, death damage as well. That's not too bad of a hit from Nem Sensei.
How many times can you say Ice Wizard MVP?
I'll say it just once. Ice Wizard MVP.
That's it?
No, I can't say it another single time.
Yeah, no,
that was actually a pretty good hit from Nem Sensei. The Ice Wizard, you know, slowing that whole push down, but never really getting the damage in. Forced to drop, you know, Tornado after Mega Minion to finish that push off. Soking has got to be unhappy about that King Tower getting activated, though. Tornado pulling the Hog Rider in is a great move by Nem Sensei.
Yeah, and now there's a Knight with a Mega Minion on the right-hand side. And Ice Wizard once again being played just to shut this down, but there's going to be a miner to...
Ooh, this is kind of an ugly push. There's no balloon from Nem Sensei, so there's no real big threat to this push. Finally gets added on, but Soking's got plenty of defense set up right now. Dang, he's going to add a rocket on.
Oh, is he going to still...
That's death damage on tower, and he got the fireball to hit too. Nem Sensei never getting a balloon connection, but consistently dropping damage out the left lane. Oh, no. Poorly placed Tornado prevents him from pulling that Hog Rider in, and Nem Sensei's laughing. It's not a good trade at all. I mean, you drop 3 elixir for nothing, and you take a lot of damage on your left side tower. Could be a crucial mistake. Let's see how this plays out, though.
Well, there is an Executioner on the left-hand side. Now he's just playing into Soking.
Tornado this time. There we go. Nicely done.
Oh, but this is going to slow down the Executioner. This Hog is going to connect on the tower. So much damage coming off Tombstone once again to protect. And that's a rocket from the sky shutting down that balloon. 700 damage on the left. That's the magic number for Soking. Can he get it down to 493?
Nem Sensei is just throwing like 99 red balloons out this right side, but none of them have been able to make the hit. 929 is getting awfully close. I feel like minor fireball cycle could be the preferable way of trying to take this game.
Yeah, 100%, but here's the thing. He's got to be able to... Okay, can Soaking stop this push? That's the question. Oh, Hog Rider coming down the left-hand side. You don't have a tornado. You got a tornado. Okay, there it is.
Last second.
There it is, but beautiful
finish it
block.
Soaking can win with the rocket here, but does he have enough time to reach it?
Yes, he does. 100%. Do it.
Oh, man, this balloon's looking scary at the left lane. Doesn't get the drop, though. And the Rocket's going to be able to finish this game off.
Oh, no. The difference in that game, one tornado. One tornado. The miss.
Yep. One little tornado miss means that that left side tower just took a ton of unnecessary damage. Soaking and Nimsensei both played very well in that match, especially on defense. I got to give it to Soaking. Never took a single balloon hit, but one little tile misplaced on that tornado means that Hog Rider is going to get a ton of damage off on your tower. And ultimately, I think that was the decisive factor there.
That was the decisive factor there. And I just feel that the pressure is getting to Nimsensei at this moment, because Hog Rider coming in on the left. Let's take a look at this. The missed tornado. Hog Rider just getting so much damage on the tower. That mistake was the difference. He would have been able to shut that down without taking 2 hog swings, which is catastrophic to your tower. It's 500 damage that could have been saved. Then what happened was Rocket Cycle got in, Balloons never able to connect, had the Tombstone, had the Tornado, and I feel like this is kind of one of those places. Have you ever played ladder to where you're pushing up, you're pushing up, you're pushing up, and all of a sudden you just lose, and then you just keep on losing and losing and losing,
the tilt is real.
The tilt is real, and just never able to get out of that hole that you dig yourself, and then all of a sudden you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, where did my 200 trophies just go? And I feel like that's what's happening to Nimsensei right now, is he's just never able to recoup and get back up and get back his trophies.
He needs that killer mentality. It's something that he definitely had spring season, and he even had during the qualifiers. You know, he didn't auto-qualify back into the fall season. He fought his way in here, and he's got a good spot. You know, he's going to be able to walk away with at least $3,500 for that 10th place prize for this season, but he definitely wants more, and he wants a shot at World Finals. You got to be at least 6th place in this double round robin. At 0-7 right now and down 0-1 in this current matchup, I don't know how many different ways that we can say it. Nimsensei, you got to get a win in here, man.
Yes, he's going against the two-pay army, and this is going to get 2 hog swings right off the bat, but here comes a miner. Can he get the goblins to connect on the tower?
He just might. No, Ice Golem at the very last second catches them. Miner gets the tower down to 2342, and it's a little bit of a counterattack moving here from Soaking. You know, it's a pretty tall order, though, to expect Nimsensei to take out the #1 ranked player in the entire region right now. Soaking at 5-1. Doing so well against all the different opponents he's been up against. He's almost run the entire circuit on this round robin.
Yes.
Soaking using Rocket again to take out these balloons.
Beautiful, beautiful. Here comes the Ice Wizard on the right-hand side. The only person that Soaking has lost to in this tournament so far has been Lupanji.
Accurate. That's just true. Mega Minion flying on in, and it looks like it's going to get a poison added on top to try to take out this Tombstone and give it a shot at the tower, but not this time. And Sensei low on Elixir will be able to have enough to play this Tornado on defense. Gets his King Tower activated, and yeah, it's down to 1742 at that right lane. They're both playing the right side, though. They're not really switching it up left and right as they usually do in chat. What are some of the reasons why players would play only one lane?
The reason why some players would only want to play one lane is because if you have your damage on that side, you know, especially versus a hog deck, is it's going to keep on coming at you on that side. So you want to play your units in that lane so that you can catch the Hog Rider and get off a counterattack. But I feel like Nimsensei is just not in a great cycle, and he's just kind of struggling to get into a groove, you know what I mean? Especially after that first Miner and Goblins that came in that got shut down by that Ice Golem, you know, that 5 elixir for 2, you know, he's kind of, you know, in a sticky situation here and trying to outcycle. Hog Rider on the left-hand side here, mixing it up, applying so much pressure on Nimsensei, and here's a big push.
Quick push at the left side. Rocket is going to be able to take that thing out, though. Knight in front, not going to be able to get value on the push there. Yeah. I think Rocket takes it all out, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
You did see Soaking play a Hog Rider out the left lane, forcing NemSensei to kind of get a little bit off balance here. I think that he's going to be able to deal with this Hog just well, though, and NemSensei could go on a big push here. He's got an Executioner at the bridge. Will he add onto it? Nope.
No Executioner, and Mega Minion gonna keep on swipe. Ooh, Log. So the Executioner doesn't get off that last coveted hit. Here comes the Miner and the Balloon on the left-hand side.
A lot better. Miner and Balloon, it could get rocketed. Nope, gonna get distracted by the Tombstone, but meanwhile, Soaking gets a hit on the right with that Hog Rider. And he's trying to take out this Balloon with a Mega Minion. Is it going to get it in time?
No!
I don't think it will. Balloon gets the drop, and that's the first big connection that NemSensei's gotten all game long. Left side down to 10-16, but it's a Rocket Cycle attack from Soaking.
A Log probably comes out on the right as well with defense here. All he's got to do is defend.
I don't like that Rocket Cycle at all. I think that he was winning straight up, and why would you mix it up like that?
Yeah, because he needs one more.
He's giving away so much elixir, and now
he's the tornado coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, but, I mean, look, Balloon almost making it in there, forcing a lot of juice out from Soaking. I guess he's going to reach it, though, and it turns out NemSensei is still in trouble. Rocket and Log on the right will finish it off.
I can't believe he saved the tornado for that long. And that's game.
Dang. NemSensei built up elixir, but there was no more final push. I think you just got to throw it out there on the left side and hope that you can get it in. The hashtag Tupe Army from Soaking gets another one on the board. That's a 2-0 victory.
2-0 victory for Soaking, and wow. This is like the Goliath coming out. Soaking, first place, continuing to dominate the gauntlet here. Now, what is he, 6-1 now? Just staying at the top. A couple of more wins, and maybe not preferential seeding, but he might be moving on to the top 6. If you go 10-1, 10-2, you're in a very strong position, and 10 wins, or even 7 wins, 8 wins, might get you into, you know, the playoff bracket, which is kind of all you really need. You definitely want, don't get me wrong, you definitely want the top 2 spots. You definitely want to get the preferential seeding, but just making it to the next stage is big, and sitting at the top so high, especially with about, I think, 3 wins, is the 7th place, I think, right now. As 3 wins, I think it's Adam.
Yeah, well, we've got 6 from Soaking right now. That's going to put him at the very top. Let's head back to the stage and see what Trid thinks about the games today.
Thank you very much, Woody, in chat. And we're about halfway through today's show, today's matches. Well, of course, we want to try and recap the ban system a little bit. So I've got Ben with me again. We're going to go through a couple of the bans that piqued our interest. And I think we're starting off with Game 3's bans. Yeah,
I mean, the Balloon P.E.K.K.A, I think it was. You can see it on the screen here. We've seen Balloon banned a lot lately, and I think that's purely because it's unpredictable. I mean, even if you stick an Ice Golem in front of it, all it takes is a missed rocket. Chief Pat's famous for it. The rocket's got such a tiny hit circle. It's easy.
Shots fired at Chief Pat there while you were doing it. The Balloon's been very common as well. P.E.K.K.A has been seeing a lot of play in general, both very high usage rate cards. I mean, another instance of Balloon banning we have was actually from Game 4 as well. I think the Balloon came out against the Elixir Collector, which was targeted against NemSensei.
Yeah, I mean, NemSensei's been running a lot of beatdown this so far today. I think he's 2 out of 3 running beatdown. And take out the Elixir Collector out of that, then you can't get that big push.
He's still 0-3 out there, so 2 times he's managed to get that loss in. But a Balloon ban coming in, NemSensei chose it low A. Like I said, it was targeted at NemSensei. He's not had the best of performances on beatdown, so to remove an option of that, something he's consistently played, kind of even weakens that attempt even further. I'm sure it helped with Loe's victory, but someone who was quite obvious, that's an obvious choice to ban against NemSensei there. Someone who's not so obvious to ban against, Surgical Goblin.
As you refer to him, the king. See, Adam's banned Spear Goblins.
Right.
In the caster booth, they've said that that's a throwaway ban. I'm not so sure. You see all the pros. They don't know what to ban against him. You see it in the unofficial leagues, and you see it in CCGS. The main card you see people ban against him is Princess. Yeah. I mean, it's his favorite card. It's a smart choice. But he's just an unpredictable player. You can't predict what he's going to play, so there's pretty much no point in banning.
Well, I mean, I asked Baron about this. I had Baron in the studio a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, what do you ban against Surgical Goblin? And even he was like, I have no idea. I don't know what to ban. I just banned one of his most favorite cards and hoped for the best. And I mean, bans might not be even an issue with Surgical Goblin. If you recall, he lost to Loe, and Loe banned, I believe he banned Bomb Tower in that matchup. And that definitely is a throwaway ban referencing Woody's opinions on the system. But he was able to beat Surge with Bomb Tower ban. I don't think bans are that impactful against a player like Surgical Goblin.
I mean, it says a lot when you've got a player in Baron who's part of Team Queso, Surge's team, probably apart from Loe, because Loe's on the Dutch CR Worlds team, knows Surge the best in this tournament. And when you've got someone that's got that sort of relationship with Surge saying, I don't know.
I got no idea. Yeah, it all comes down to, I guess, like just picking what you think may work at the time. But because he's so adaptable and such a versatile player, that's basically what we know Surgical Goblin for. I don't think the ban system's going to phase him at all, keep him off his stride.
Safest bet, don't target his deck.
Yeah.
Pick a card that's going to do well against your deck. Take it out of play. Give yourself a bit more of an advantage because you're going to need it.
Well, the flip side of that is you ban a card that's going to help your deck go better. Someone with the game knowledge like Surge could go, oh, he's probably going to play that deck now, and then he counter-decks you. So that's always the problem, and it is a bit of an enigma to deal with the ban system. But we're going to have to jump back into our games right now. We're going to send it over to Woody and in chat, and still haven't seen that flying machine. I really want it to come up. Boys, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, Trid, I don't think we're going to see a flying machine. What do you think, Woody?
I don't think so either. Yeah, it's pretty much a unanimous decision among the pros that I've spoken to so far that it's a little underpowered, needs a little bit more juice to be able to work. And even if it is workable in some decks, they're still so experimental, and it'd be pretty hard-pressed to find someone who's willing to run such a wonky deck in CCGS. Yeah. Something that has been unproven against other really good players. But as we just said, we've got Baron and Donkey Kong moving in match 7. Very next. Two old school dudes. They were both there in the spring season. They've played against each other a lot. They're familiar with each other. And I think that Donkey Kong might tend to have the edge in this matchup. Let's see the band. So we've got Elixir Collector from Baron and P.E.K.K.A from Donkey Kong. What are your thoughts in chatting?
My thoughts are no triple muskies for Donkey Kong. Baron, interesting because a lot of people were target banning the Electro Wizard versus Baron in the previous weeks. After Surgical Goblin kind of showed that's his kink in his armor, ban the Electro Wizard versus Baron, and that kind of slows him down. P.E.K.K.A's now gone, so it opens the door to a lot of different decks and a lot of different archetypes that might be coming out. I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing. Minor, maybe, possibly. It's going to be very interesting. Donkey Kong, known as a Three Musketeer player, not going to be able to play it. What do you think he's going to slide into, especially now that the P.E.K.K.A is banned? You think? Do you think he goes and the pump? Do you think he goes to Hog maybe?
I feel like we got a pretty good chance to see log bait from at least one of these guys. Having Elixir Collector ban means that you're not going to see quite as many of those big, heavy decks. And log bait can perform pretty well against them, but I think it's going to be a great option here. It's one of the highest win rate decks among top players, and especially if you're able to drop a little light princess in the back, just get a little bit of dainty damage off. As long as you don't get a minor burrowing under the arena to boink her on the head or something like that, you should be pretty well positioned. No, we got the Bandit, in fact. Bandit behind an Ice Golem, and it's looking like probably no log bait this time around.
Ooh, mini P.E.K.K.A coming out for Baron. So Baron with an Electro Wizard and a mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A! Oh, doesn't connect on the tower. Mega Knight shuts it down. Inferno Tower going to be in front of this, though. It's going to take the tower aggro first.
Yes, it will, but dang, what have we got to defend against this push? Oh my goodness, I don't like this at all. We've got a Goblin Gang on the back to try to get rid of a Mega Knight. Forced to cycle hard. Baron just dumped a ton of Elixir on the back end.
The good thing about this is at least his Elixir's alive, but the mini P.E.K.K.A is taking a walk to a tower that he does not want to go to.
I think you're right about that. Not going to be able to reach that right side, and the Miner on defense feels a little awkward, but gets the job done. Donkey Kong ahead in Elixir. We'll take one or two more little boinks on the left side from that Miner. And it's a minor exchange.
It's a minor
from
exchange
DK as well.
Yeah, just a little chip here, a little chip there. You know, just that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah.
And, ooh, Balloon, is it going to connect?
Oh, nice zap there. Means that Inferno Dragon doesn't get to burn it up, but Balloon can't quite make it all the way.
That was so close. So close. Inferno Dragon on this right-hand side. Electro Wizard easily going to be able to shut it down and go towards offense. Oh, Ice Golem on the right-hand side, or Donkey Kong will be able to shut down the Electro Wizard. We kind of got a stalemate here, Woody.
Yeah. Inferno Dragon works so well at getting tons of damage off against a big old target, but I think that Mega Knight's kind of the only thing in the arena that he would want to shoot at. Unfortunately, Mega Knight is also on the red team, so kind of nothing for this Inferno Dragon to lock onto. Balloon's a pretty good value target with the zap coming in from Baron. He's going to give this Balloon a chance to connect. Boom! Gets the big drop on the right side.
Oh, almost got the
second. Dude,
that would have been rough.
Would indeed. This is going to be a big push out the right side for Donkey Kong, though, especially if he can get this Inferno Dragon to connect, but no. Plenty of Elixir for Baron to defend with the E-Wiz.
I think the main thing right now is Baron's Electro Wizard just continuing to shut down these Inferno Dragons every single shot. And now, one more Balloon is going to be the difference in this game.
That'll be able to get the win for Baron. He's been playing very well so far. Just be able to hang on. Defends with the zap against those bats. A nice call. Baron's just got great spell coverage.
He drops 7 Elixir on the ground, but guess what? There's an aerial balloon that's coming at your tower. No zap.
That's going to be death damage on the tower, though. Baron's getting a little bit closer here. He just has to defend this last push, and he should be fine. Whoa, Miner right on Donkey Kong's right side tower. It's an Ice Golem at the back to try to defend. Can the Miner finish it off and gets it?
Yes, GG, Baron.
Tearing the tower down. Nicely done there. You know, do you see Donkey Kong? He's wearing a P.E.K.K.A. shirt right now. Even though he banned P.E.K.K.A., he's wearing a P.E.K.K.A. shirt.
That is what you call interesting. I mean, who bans a P.E.K.K.A. wearing this shirt? He's like, I
make the most interesting observations.
I know, right? I mean, observations.
P.E.K.K.A. though. What were you showing us there,
I was going to show like the P.E.K.K.A. shirt, but I don't have a P.E.K.K.A. shirt, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I realized I didn't have one, so I was like, oh, well, that's not going to work.
The shirt's purple. That's just about as quick as we can get. Look, a quick attack out the right. Baron gets the Miner to connect, and that was the difference between victory and defeat. That right side suffering a huge hit from Donkey Kong, but he managed to hold off just long enough before the Inferno Dragon could burn that right side up. Miner gets the kill.
He couldn't kill the Balloon in time, so the Balloon got the death damage off because he dropped the 7 Elixir versus for the Mega Knight. And when you drop 7 Elixir on a Mega Knight, you don't have any more Elixir, you know? Like, what do you do? Drop bats, they're going to get zapped. You drop Inferno Dragon, you don't have the 4 Elixir, you only have 3.
They also get zapped.
And, yeah, and it also gets zapped, so that's a mute point. Just the constant chip from Baron allowed him to slowly get into a position where he was able to drop the Miner there and get that off. But if that Ice Golem was able to stop the Miner there, that push was looking really strong on the right for Donkey Kong. Think it would have taken the tower there, Woody, if, yeah?
I mean, I guess E-Wiz on defense can get something done, but there was like a Miner, Bandit, Mega Knight, like so many troops stacked up on that right side. It was a calculated move from Baron to say, you know what, I'm taking this tower down right now. I'm not going to make you fine folks out there wait any longer during overtime.
Nah, this is over now.
Yeah.
This Miner's going to connect on the tower.
You're done.
The Zap's going to kill the bats because that's all you got in rotation.
You're finished.
And I hope the Ice Golem doesn't take it down.
You're Quaintance.
Done.
Done. Cut him off in chat. Cut him off.
Cut him off.
He's finished.
Finished. Let's see what they're going to bring out in match number 2. Bats from Baron. Bandit from Donkey Kong.
Let's go.
That is correct. They're going to be swooping on in, but not even getting a single hit off. Poor bats. They just get wasted.
Miner on the right-hand side.
A little bit too early from DK. Miner going to miss that princess. I imagine that was the intended target.
I would hope so. And this... Is he going to do Protective Princess mode? Yes, he does. But unfortunately, the princess was 1 tile too high, so he wasn't able to get the princess tower to connect with the electro.
Yeah. Still keeps the princess alive, though, and it looks like the Ice Golem rolling on in will be able to take out by the tower pretty quickly here. Bandit moving in on the right side has got some bats to keep her busy, but the Zap is going to be able to take her out. Mini Peck out the left gets a big jump from the Mega Knight. Is he going to be able to win this exchange? Yes, Mini P.E.K.K.A. for the win.
Mini P.E.K.K.A. definitely taking care of that Mega Knight. Now we're kind of waiting for both players to get to 10 Elixir. Donkey Kong with the Mega Knight.
Let's go.
We have Baron with this hog kind of cycle deck. Here comes the miner on the left-hand side. Is it going to connect with the
gets her
princess?
this time. Boink, right on her head.
Yes, but the hog rider on the left gonna do a lot of damage.
One swing, two swings. Nice job there to Baron once again. But can he stop this next big push? Princess isn't going to be able to get the job done.
Yes, but
Ice Golem for the catch.
Frosty, man. Frosty MVP all day. Oh!
Bandit dash on the tower is worth quite a bit of damage, but Baron retains the damage advantage. The advantage, the damage.
The damage
I don't know.
advantage.
I felt like I said the same word like 5 times there. Donkey Kong on the left side burns up that princess with an Inferno Dragon.
Ooh, Mega Knight though, gonna shut it down.
That's right. Look, that one little bat's been damaged by Inferno Dragon. He's got like one tiny little hit point left.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen a bat with an
Damaged, but
HP.
not dead. Yeah. Mini Peck on the back as the Ice Golem bursts and kills all the bats. Ooh, nice little counterattack here. Mini Peck is still quite healthy. And Baron's adding on with bats and an Ice Spirit as well. Yo, not quite. We've got Princess to defend. Ice Golem going to be able to kill these bats as the Princess can't get to him first.
No.
But is the Bandit going to get the dash? No, she gets slowed down. Slow down.
Mini Peck is slow Waddle on the left-hand side. Hog Rider on the right. The switch. Aruski from Baron. Gonna do a little bit of damage.
Nice switch Ruski there. It means that he gets to play either lane he wants to. And he also managed to finish off that Electro Wizard at the left. And he's happy taking a tiny little bit of damage here.
Ooh,
wow.
Is this gonna hit?
Boom. Yeah, it's gonna hit Baron.
Boom goes the
with
dynamite.
As we say, rocket lands on the left side tower, bringing it down to 1109. Baron is in a strong position here. He doesn't have a whole lot of elixir to play around with. He's playing careful defense just for now. Couldn't quite get back to another rocket on that left side push, but he's getting there pretty soon. Can we get bats to catch this Inferno Dragon? Yeah! Baron looking good, forcing the zap out from DK.
That's a lot of elixir though.
Sure is. This Mega Knight's gonna persist. Oh no, Baron's at 10 elixir. He's gonna play something. Finds an Ice Golem.
Ooh, the bats on the tower with the Mega Knight! Oh no!
Bats are going in hard. The Princess can't get a single shot off. She's trying to finish off this miner first.
Oh
Light
my
not being enough to finish it off. Donkey Kong for the win!
Wow! That was crazy.
Take a look around at your adoring fans, Donkey Kong. You've got a 1-1 draw now.
The 1-1 draw. The best part about that game, the bat with like, what, 5 HP, 3 HP, 2 HP? Can we get like an exact calculation on how much HP that bat actually had? Pop quiz.
I bet it had 18.
18?
Right? Doesn't,
Maybe.
Doesn't the Inferno Dragon burn like 25 at the very beginning? It's really super slow.
It's super slow.
Anyways, left side attack is going to be an Ice Spirit trying to slow down this push, but just not enough damage to finish them off. Yeah.
Not enough. Not enough. And there it is. That's the tower. Donkey Kong 1-1. What other units in the game not kill a bat? What are the units in the game leave a bat with hit points? I don't think any.
Maybe not any. Oh, I mean, Inferno Tower. Just the same thing
Tower.
There. I think that the crucial exchange in that last phase of the game was the fact that the tower did not lock the miner. There was something in range first. I think it was either hitting the Bandit or the Mega Knight. Probably the Mega Knight. Yeah. But then the Princess was locked onto the miner. It was just like a complete inversion of where you needed the damage. You needed single target damage on that miner and splash damage to take out the bats that were coming on in.
Yeah, just the pressure was insane. Zap comes out from Baron here on Donkey Kong. Looks like both players. Ooh, Donkey Kong going with an Inferno Dragon once again. Very interesting. Baron with the Electro Wizard. And I think Baron has played Electro Wizard every single game. Miner comes in on the right-hand side with a Bandit. Mega Knight coming out from Donkey Kong. Looks like Donkey Kong is on the same deck.
Yeah. You know, Chad, I checked up on that question for you. Inferno Dragon actually burns at 30 damage per second at level 1 when it just starts heating up. And with the 67 hit points on a bat, that means that it had 7 hit points left.
Ooh, that math. Mathematician. I'm going to call him Mathematician Woody.
We got a Mega Knight out the right. Dueling another one. The blue one gets the win. And stomps on that poor Ewiz. Poison finishes him off, and Baron is catching up on damage now.
Here it is, Donkey Kong, Mega Knight. What's going to be played? Kind of this is like the calm before the storm. You know what I mean? While both players slowly get up to 10 elixir. And then it's Miner on the left-hand side for Donkey Kong. And then you have it get shut down.
Zap can't finish him off, though. Has Baron got something to soak some damage for these minions? Yes, he will. Add a Miner in the back. Bandit to the catch.
Great catch right there. And Electro Wizard in front. And it comes
kind of backwards, though. You probably want the Bandit in front of the Ewiz. Fortunately, though, Ewiz is able to force a retarget. Yeah, look, it's the same attack coming in. Ewiz and Bandit.
You don't say!
Ooh, but an Inferno Dragon, the last card in Baron's deck, burning a big hole in this Mega Knight's armor. He gets the jump off, though.
He does get the jump off. A little bit of damage there. Ooh.
A lot of bit of damage there. That left side down to 1038. Hurting.
This is not looking good for Baron. Donkey Kong controlling this game. Miner on the left with the Bandit. Oh, Bandit! Ooh. Inferno Dragon coming down. Baron's got to make some kind of play somehow, some way. The decks are the same. Besides the minion and the bats, there's a little bit of variation here within the flying creatures.
Ooh, that's specialization. Bats or minions?
What do you prefer?
Oh, I was just gonna ask you the same thing. I think bats. I think I'd go bats. You know, in this matchup, I think the minions actually are able to swipe those bats down. So the minions are probably a better option against someone who's playing bats. But in pretty much any other setup, bats are going to get the job done. And Donkey Kong playing bats is in the lead right now. Yeah,
well, now it's up elixir time. It's going to be a lot easier to cycle to the minions. And Miner going to get shut down. Electro Wizard and Inferno Dragon. Can he get out of this poison in time? No, there's the Mega Knight. This is going to be a huge push from Baron. Can it be stopped? Mega Knight coming out. Inferno Dragon still pretty healthy. Oh, the Bandit gets the aggro.
What happened? How did that happen? Did she like push the Mega Knight a little bit back?
I think she may. Oh no, this is over. Baron, the family on the left-hand side. And there it is. The little health from the Inferno Dragon. And the Bandit, I kind of want to see a replay of what happened with that Bandit displacing that Mega Knight. What a play. And just like that, just like you were saying, the tower is at 1038. Pretty much both towers are healthy for Donkey Kong. Baron turned that around by switching lanes, getting Donkey Kong out of cycle.
Check this out.
And yeah, the pushback from the Bandit.
The red Mega Knight was hitting the blue one, but when the Bandit dashed onto him,
the Electro Wizard switched. The Electro Wizard. We don't see the Electro Wizard. The Electro Wizard actually retargeted, and the Bandit got up close and personal with the dash.
I was like, there isn't usually a knockback from the dash, but what I thought had happened there was that the Mega Knight was so close to the river that the Bandit dashed across the other side of the river, and then like she can't be in the river, so I thought that she like repositioned herself and forced the Mega Knight out of the way. But that's not what happened. I think we got the retarget from the Electro Wizard, and because she's just a smaller unit, she's able to get a little bit more up close and personal with that Mega Knight. Ewiz for the zap forces the retarget, and that's pretty much what got him the win there. You know, it's a lot easier to deal with one kind of medium health troop than like a grouping of 2 or 3 different types of troops that deal different types of damage. Splash damage out the Mega Knight and single target damage out of the Bandit means that you don't really have a clear option to counter that. They can deal damage in a lot of different ways and probably shut down whatever DK wanted to play on defense.
Yeah, well, let's jump into this next match now. We got Loe versus Islaw. Good game here. Both players pretty high up on the leaderboard. I believe Islaw is 4-2 right now. Loe, I believe, is 5-2. So, you know, 4-2 versus 5-2. Going to be very interesting to see who gets a little bit higher on the leaderboard here. Whoever wins this match is going to be higher. Three Musketeers banned by Islaw and Miner being banned by Loe. What do you take of these bans, Woody, now that the Three Musketeers gets taken away from Loe, which is, you know, one of his main decks, and the Miner gets taken away from Islaw? What do you think we're going to be seeing more of now that there's no Miner and no Three Musketeers?
Well, I could just read you off the decks that they've been very well with in the past. I know Loe also likes to play striker cards. He's used Hog Rider and Battle Ram in the past to great effect. Without Miner, though, I think that Elixir Collector might be a pretty safe play here. Miner does do great work against the Elixir Collector. If you don't manage to get the catch on defense, he can just whittle away and then lock onto the tower afterwards if you've got nothing else to defend it with. I think that we're going to see some big like Golem-based pushes in these games, because with the Three Muskies ban, obviously you can't play Three Muskies, but I feel like I kind of would want to play Elixir Collector in this setup. Elixir Collector works well with different decks other than Three Miskies, of course. Golem and Lava Hound being two of the most popular ones.
Yeah, interesting. We might even see the Pump Expo deck could come out.
Oh, okay,
There's no Minor Poison, which is a counter to the Expo. So I would really like to see an Expo deck. I don't know if both of these players play Expo. Maybe Islaw does. Maybe Loe brings it out here. It's going to be very interesting to see. Maybe the Golem does play. The Pump Golem is a good option. But like you said, they like to play striker cards from Loe. I think Loe is going to go with the Hog. Play it a little safer. Go with the Hog. This might be a Hog versus Hog matchup with Pekka's on the field as well.
Hog Pekka, yeah. I like that. Good reading, chatting. Well, I just have to see what these guys choose to run with here. But Pekka and Bandit, also from Islaw, is another one that he's liked to run in the past. Both with only 2 losses, they are in contention for a top 2 spot. A win here would be very good because you're able to not only get another point in the W column, but also kick down a player who's pretty close to you in the standings.
Yeah, this is, I mean, whoever wins this does move ahead. And the big part is you want to make sure you win the matches with the people closest to you, because those are the ones you're going to be fighting for at the end.
Right side Fireball hits the Ice Golem and the Mini Pekka and the tower. Get a little bit of chip damage off there. Loe's got to worry about these bats flying on, and they're protecting that Mini Pekka.
That Mini Pekka's still kind of healthy.
Oh, misses.
Battle Ram from Islaw.
Nice log, but played a little early. It looks like the defense here is going to be good, but Islaw's got plenty of Elixir to play around with on defense now.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the new bridge spam deck that Islaw has been working with. It is a Mini Pekka Bats. It's pretty Mini Pekka and Bats instead of the Goblins and the Night Witch in the, the old school, with the Inferno Dragon bridge spam deck with the Night Witch, the Battle Ram, the Bandit, the Goblins, that just, you want to throw everything at the bridge, get the damage off, take a tower early, and then just sit back and defend.
Right. A popular win condition. It's not quite as popular recently due to the slowing down, shall we say, of the Battle Ram. It doesn't charge quite as quickly in there, but it still sees play. Check it out. We got that Expo that you were talking about.
Loe
locks onto the Ice Golem. I'm worried that Loe is missing Elixir here. He might be a little bit too short to protect this Expo.
Oh,
risky play, and he's going to get punished now on the counterattack. Bandit getting some work done against these Goblins. They'll be able to take this Battle Ram out before it connects, but a big hit is moving on in. The Barbarians making their way toward the tower.
The Barbarians don't have the log. They're bear without the log.
Inferno Dragon locks on. Is there any way for Loe to stop it?
Fireball.
No, there's not. Fireball's not going to get the job done, man.
And like you were saying, Woody, he didn't have enough Elixir to supplement the defense for the Expo, and that was the cause of what just happened.
Dang, Loe tried to fight fire with fire there, but it was not working in his favor. The Inferno Dragon heats up a lot quicker. Kind of a wasted Bandit from Islaw out the left side, trying to give Loe another chance to get the win in here, but he's just got so many troops swarming at him on this right lane. Expo does hold on, and it's going to have to get through this Ice Golem.
Yeah, just a Bandit. Oh, gets the smack on the Expo. Goblin just a little bit too late.
That'll do it.
Even if he didn't, though, there's only 20 seconds left. It's going to be over. He would have just fireballed down the Expo anyway.
Loe just got killed by an Inferno Dragon. That's pretty shocking. You rarely see Inferno Dragon actually getting the kill on the tower. It's more of a threat and something that you have to deal with, but there's a lot of ways to deal with it. That was a pretty surprising result in my mind. A 1-0 win for Islaw.
It was surprising because of the Expo placement at the bridge there. When you knew he didn't have the Elixir for it, and Islaw took completely, he was ready for that. He had the Battle Ram too. The moment that Expo died, the Battle Ram was on the field, and just like you said, you kill the Battle Ram, guess what? You still got to deal with Barbarians, and you have an Inferno Dragon killing your defensive troop. And then Inferno Dragon on the tower, what do you have?
Look, he's locking on right now, and Loe at 3 Elixir. I mean, you'd want to throw a Mega Minion or Bats at it, but
well, the Bats
it wasn't in his hand
instantly. Yeah,
right.
Unfortunate. And
That's another reason maybe why minions might actually be a little bit better than bats in some cases. We've seen Zap rise greatly in usage ever since bats got increased in number from 4 to 5. And the reason is because Zap instantly takes him out.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill the minions, though.
Just, you saw there, he had the Inferno Dragon going down. You didn't even see the bats because they got zapped immediately.
Yeah.
And the Inferno Dragon's like, I'm going to waddle to your tower. You don't have a zap for me. I'm going to lock on. He had the fireball, but...
Flap over to the tower, maybe.
Oh, yeah, flap. Sorry, flap.
Can't waddle.
Can't waddle.
It's a flyer.
You know, you can waddle. He's got waddle in the air.
It's a little sauntering. Yeah. The air waddle.
Yeah, the air waddle.
I feel like a duck could waddle.
Just go with it, Woody. Just go with it.
He's just like a flying...
yeah.
Flying duck. He's flying around. I'm going to go with it, Jen. I'm going to go with it. You know what? I'm going to
take it back.
He was waddling. No, he was waddling. No, I'm going to go.
Let's go into match number 2, and let's see if Islaw can waddle his way into a 2-0 victory.
What are you talking about, Enchantin'?
It's a lot of waddling.
Oh, man. I would really like to listen to the duck song right now. Have you heard that song?
The waddle.
The duck song.
I have never heard the duck song. I mean, if I heard it, I probably would know.
You've probably heard it. If you have...
Oh, the quack quack?
Yeah. If you've got song requests on your channel, I'm pretty sure you've heard it before. Baby Dragon out the right, not going to get the lock on tower. Knight gets the defense out there, just soaking a few hits.
Oh,
that brave and noble Knight.
The brave and noble Knight.
Has slain the dragon. Well, not really. I guess it was the tower that killed the dragon, but he took all the hits in the meantime.
Hey, listen. You can take the credit for it.
Yeah, fair enough. Islaw's Mega Minion swipes through that barrel on the left.
If you live through that battle, you're going to definitely tell us tale. That's not true. So
he's going to tell that princess later. You know, they're in the same deck. I'm pretty sure they probably know each other, right?
What do you think 90% of the medieval movies are about? It's a knight killing a dragon. You know it never actually happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, for a princess.
Well, we've got 2 dragons from Islaw. This is a draconic deck. We actually need 3, right, to bring Khaleesi out? Did we decide?
That's true. Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. They told us if we can get 3 dragons on the field at one time from one player, she would magically appear.
Well, maybe there's a mirror in this deck. You think Islaw's got a way to mirror these dragons, or are we just gonna have to try to get all 3 at the same time?
I think we're gonna have to pray because it ain't gonna happen.
Well, Baby Dragon out the right side. Islaw is starting things off for us. It's just the Baby Dragon just waddles so quickly through the air.
Yeah.
It's
majestic. It's majestic.
A majestic waddle. It never really has the opportunity to build up a very big push.
Ooh, the Goblins got some stabs on the tower there. The late log, but the Golem comes down, and this push from Islaw. But wow, look at this push on the left-hand side.
We're going to see a log going through eventually, probably, maybe.
No, he just used it on the Goblin barrel on the right-hand side. So much damage coming off.
Cycle not getting there in time for Islaw, and he's got nothing to support this Golem out the right lane now.
He does have 8 elixir. Oh, that's just depressing.
Are we going to see a lightning here? Boom! Hits the Inferno Tower, and the Golem is still very healthy.
Oh, this is not looking good. The lock comes down for the Goblins.
Golem getting some punches off the right side. Just 1 punch before that death damage exploded.
Yeah, the Knight's not going to take down the dragon this time. He has to call his friend. King Arthur had to call Lancelot on this one.
Left side barrel does manage to get a stab in there. Islaw not holding on to the log for it this time. He's going to have it for the next rotation, or maybe to defend this left lane right now.
This is a really risky Golem. One more barrel on the left-hand side gets some damage off. This could be in rocket range.
Loe lost the princess at the left lane, and that is a big hit for him. He's not being able to build up very much of a push. Log doing double duty. We need a lightning right now. Get in there. It's the Inferno Tower, but the Ice Spirit freezing the Golem.
MVP Ice Spirit.
Golem is still alive, though. He's making it toward the tower.
That's going to be that damage. That's going to be still damage on these Golem Eyes. They do a lot of damage. Had to log.
Death damage killing that Goblin gang. Great result there for Islaw, and he just needs a little bit more damage out the right lane. He's not quite in lightning cycle range, but that is a viable way of just getting more damage out the right side. No, he's going to go for a big Golem push.
Golem push. This is risky,
better punish right now, man, or it's going to be a 2-0 for Islaw. Princess survives.
Princess is going to lock on the tower. Yes, it is.
Ooh, good result for Loe.
Unfortunately, no zap for the bats there.
No, I don't know how he can get it. He's got to defend against this push.
Oh, this Mega Minion just decided to just continue to walk right.
Went straight for that defensive setup over there, the Knight and Gabo gang, taking him out. Golem making its way toward the tower, but no death damage just yet. We got to wait for these Golemites to reach it.
Wow, it's not even in log. Oh, now it's in log lightning range. That's going to be the game. Islaw gonna stamp his victor unless somehow, some way a miracle happens. It does not happen.
No miracles this time. And wow, I saw with the 2-0 over Loe.
Wow.
Dude, I am impressed. I didn't think it was going to be done. I thought that Islaw had a slightly weaker bracket, you know, the opponents that he was up against earlier in the first and second day were not the guys who were stacked up at the very top of the leaderboard just yet. Loe has gone up against some really incredible players and managed to get the victory there, but they've both got 5 wins now. Islaw ahead of him now because he only has 2 losses instead of the 3.
Yeah, that's true. 5-2, 5-3, head-to-head victory. That's
value. The Team Queso player moving ahead over Gankstars.
Yeah, then listen, Islaw played that beautifully in both games, didn't make really one mistake in either game, took advantage of that, definitely was more prepared for that matchup when those bans happen. I think that ban phase really allowed Islaw to show off that he can run a lot of different decks and definitely command the game when the win conditions banned from Loe. The 3 Musketeers were taken off the field, the Miner off the field, and Islaw played that phenomenally with his pushes every single time. And I think the deck building from Islaw was the reason why he won those games.
Well said and chatting. But you know that I am a student of Clash Royale statistics. I love making my own card popularity snapshots, reading all the great blog posts on the Crown Championship website that the Rumham has been providing for us recently. We've also got another partner in crime in the stats world. Stats Royale has got some interesting numbers from the bracket stage of the CCGS tournament. Trid, take it away.
Thank you very much, Woody. Yes, of course, I'm joined again by Ben, and I think we've seen a lot of people asking, Ben, a little bit more about your background. So let's start with that. I mean, Ben, you ran the Sunday Clash off for a while when that was going around. Unfortunately, it's not even done on Sundays anymore, I hear. but you're also you do a lot of work with RPL as well, and the MGL Worlds, which I hear you're the co-captain of for Team UK. So I got a lot of respect for that because UK is not really showing up in Crown Championship.
We've got to show up somewhere.
Yeah, well, Worlds is the perfect place to do it. But Woody is right. We are going to be going on to the stats from Phase 2. We're going to be looking at some of the bracket stats from card usage rates and card win rates. And we're going to kick it off with the top 3 because they're quite interesting how they work together, Ben.
It should be interesting to see.
I mean, we talked about it was 3 Muskies, it was P.E.K.K.A, it was Mega Knight sitting at the top, and you had some interesting thoughts about the order in which they fall.
I mean, yeah. You'll see on the next slide about the usage rates that P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight are insanely high.
Yeah.
But looking at the win percentage rates, 3 Muskies at the top, which is surprising considering 2 of its main counters are directly below it. So I'm just thinking maybe, obviously, Loe, 3 Musky Beast,
yeah.
He's pushing that win percentage up with the 3 Musks. But maybe seeing P.E.K.K.A banned a lot, maybe that's slightly affecting its win rate because it's not being in so many games.
It's still getting more playtime than the Mega Knight, though. I mean, the one thing that stands out to me, though, is that I was around for the spring season. I'm sure you were watching at home as well. Graveyard was such an important card in spring. And then looking at Phase 2 win percentage, yeah, it's just shy of 50%. But, I mean, come on, that was such a dominant card. What's happened?
I mean, Oxalate, that's all you got to say.
Yeah.
It was his main deck. Destroyed spring season NA, but seeing how the Graveyard has fallen, I love the Graveyard. It's kind of upsetting to me. I mean, not only its win rate, but its games played as well.
Yeah, it's shocking, 201 games, and then you look at something like P.E.K.K.A and Miner with those high usage rates. We'll cut onto them in a second. I mean, as surprising, Royal Giant 0% win rate in bracket stage.
Well, Sparky with the 33% win rate is kind of shocking to me as well.
It doesn't really... Nice use of the word shocking there with Sparky in mind. But 12 plays in that, that's not really massive usage, 33%. It seems like someone was just putting it in there for a little bit of cheese. Maybe just like, they won't be expecting the Sparky. I might be able to get something out of this. Goblin Barrel, Balloon we talked about in our band segment, how that's a really popular card. It even had a, not over 50%, but it's still up there with win rates when we look at the cards that are being played in the bracket stage. I feel like Balloon's a little bit more, has a little bit more presence now though.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got cards like Goblin Barrel and you've got players like Adam,
yeah,
constantly going to be pushing that win percentage up. I mean, Goblin Barrel is a staple in any bait deck, and bait's a dominant meta.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a dominant part of the meta. The archetype's been around for goodness knows how long, and it's going to be around for goodness knows how long.
Yeah, it's such an important part of the game. And moving into it, we were talking a little bit about the usage. I mean, Pekka and Miner there with 2,154, 2,090 games there on usage rate. I mean, the top three, is that what you expect out of usage?
To be honest, top two, yes.
Yeah. Hog Rider?
Hog Rider, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Mega Knight.
Well, 22% of all games, and over a fifth of all games in the bracket stage had a Hog Rider in their decks. That's quite impressive for a singular card.
I'll give it to, I mean, Hog Rider's always going to be a viable win condition, no matter what. It's been around since the start of the game. It's consistent.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, in terms of usage rate, not talking about win rate, usage rate, I just thought the hype of the Mega Knight when it first came out and it being OP, it would have seen a lot more.
Well, it's just shy of that fifth of all games or fifth of all decks being used, so it's still not something to turn your nose at. But moving on to the other side of the decks, I mean, Lava Hound, Lava Loon is such a potent combination we've seen, and it seems that it just doesn't go away, and it's a little bit stronger now with all the Pekka usage that's coming out. But to have a 8.28% usage rate, to me, that's unbelievable. It's almost as bad as the Graveyard not having a high win rate.
I mean, like you said, with Pekka being so dominant in the bracket stage, you would expect more air decks. Because most Pekka decks aren't known for having full-on air counters. Bats, Ewiz maybe. But when that's all focused on the Lava Hound, like you said, that's when the Lava Loon factor comes in. So the fact that it's only got an 8.28% usage rate, it's kind of shocking.
Right, last question on this one. Because we're playing into it a little bit more, because Flying Machine just came out. I know you hate it, but I know people haven't got a high opinion of it yet. But in terms of usage and win rates, are you guessing it's going to be more of a Sparky Royal Giant tier? Or maybe could it climb up a little bit higher and get about, I don't know, about 10 to 15%, something like that maybe?
I reckon it will sit just above Sparky.
Just above Sparky with the 12 games played.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, Ben, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. We are going to throw it back to Woody and Chatton, who are going to give you 2 more games of action before you see this face again.
Thank you, Trid. This next game that we're going to have here is going to be Lupanji and Adam. Now, looking at those charts that we just saw on the screen with, the top, 2 cards pretty much were Pekka, Miner, and, then you had the Hog Rider going down there. You had the Mega Knight. How do you think that really affects the meta, Woody, in a change? Because that was the bracket stage, mind you. That was just the bracket stage. Now we're into the bans and 2 stages about a month later in, the meta evolving, because it's constantly evolving. How did the meta really change, or not really change that much from what we just looked at?
Well, with fewer players in the tournament now, the competitors actually know each other, and so kind of instead of going up against people that are kind of at random, we wind up having targeted bans. So I think that the meta game kind of changes a little bit based upon knowing your opponent specifically instead of just kind of having a random opponent. But you did see there on screen, Adam banned Sparky and Lupanji banned Pekka. I feel pretty good for Adam in this one. He managed to go 1-2 against Surgical Goblin, one of the top guys in the world. Very close matches. And with the Sparky ban, he's going to still have plenty of options to go prosecute this next match. Sparky not getting a whole lot of play in the TGS so far. Can we make Sparky great again? Can we make Royal Giant great again? I saw Royal Giant was pretty far down on that usage and win rate thing.
I mean, it won 0% of the games. It was close. I mean, at least it tried. Right?
Yeah.
At least it tried.
Good for you.
Yeah. So.
Buck up, old chap.
Buck up. Okay. Adam hasn't played Log Bait yet.
Yeah.
Does he go to it?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's a yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's got to, right? I feel like
the last time they banned Pekka against him, You went to Logbait and you won.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Well, that's a great indication of it. The Ice Spirit and... Oh, beautifully played. Mega Knight just drops right on the Ice Spirit and the
That
Goblin.
is tough to do.
Yeah, that's
well,
very tough to do.
It's got to be said. That is not an easy task.
Well,
timing that just correctly to kill that whole Gabo.
Well, I was actually in my clan watching Manly, who was in the rest of the world, practice for an hour and a half straight of just having Mega Minions come at him. The Goblin Barrels come at him, Goblins come at him, and him just dropping Mega Knights, mirrored Mega Knights on mirrored Goblins, just trying to time it perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's the dedication that these pros have at making sure that they have perfect plays in, you know, when the time comes.
Yeah. Well, you saw Adam there soaking a bandit out the left side, rolled a log through that E-Wiz, and he is ahead in damage right now. I agree with Rumham in chat, though. We need Royal Giant back return play. Whoa, look, hold on.
Wow!
Take a look.
There it is,
What is that thing?
Lupanji!
Look, in the skies. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's the flying machine. Moving on in on offense. Got a few pop shots on the left side. Nicely done. And we said, what did we say? Flying machine, if it can get value in any setup, it would either be with a fireball bait deck or it would be up against log bait.
Yeah, or it would be played by Lupanji, the man himself.
Who could do anything he wants.
Yeah, this is a deck that he's been working on, actually. And somebody said he has clone in this deck as well. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
There's another card left.
There is another card left. I don't believe it, but let's see if he does have...
Dang, Flying Machine is getting value right now. There's kind of no mid-range spell in Adam's deck, and that might be the opportune chance for Flying Machine to get value as a punish against decks that only run really heavy spells like Rocket and really light spells like the Log. If there's no poison or fireball in your deck, there's kind of no efficient way to just take it out.
Yeah, there is poison in this last card.
Not clone.
Clone. I wanted to see a clone, though. That would be really
you like
fun.
play Flying Machine at the very back and then like clone it to get one to go to the left and one go to the right?
I think you could.
Is that why you clone it?
I don't know. I've never seen him play the deck. But apparently this is a deck that he has.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to see it now. Just not with clone, unfortunately. Mega Knight hopping in on that Inferno Tower. But check it out. A miner in the back left is getting a lot of chip damage off.
Log comes out. Oh my god, Mega Knight is going. Oh, Flying Machine on the left. That's going to take out the Princess. That's going to connect on the tower. Oh, the speed. Mega Knight conjuring on the right-hand side. The Bat's coming in. The Bat's going to continue the tower. Poison on the left-hand side. That's going to be the game. Well played by Flying Machine. MVP.
So much for Flying Machine underpowered, right? Lupanji showing us how it is done. He almost got that right side tower down too. Nearly a 2-0 against the Lord of the Logbait, playing his preferred deck of choice.
We did say earlier in the broadcast, though, Flying Machine, if it's going to go good against one deck, it's going to play against the Logbait and win.
And it sure did. Lupanji piloting it to great success here. What am I looking at right now in chatting? This is from a previous matchup. This is Islaw and Loe playing here right now. Yes. But just appreciate this last matchup one more time with me in chatting. Oh, Golemite explodes on the right side tower. Baby Dragon gets a few burps off on that Knight. And Islaw wiped down the right side tower.
Yeah, took the victory.
No, but for real. Adam was playing in this current matchup and will still get a chance to play. You know, he had a 1-2 result against Surgical Goblin, so maybe he can get a win, pull one out here. I think it was just the unfamiliarity with the deck that Lupanji was running that really got him out of his element, and that's something that Lupanji's known for, playing weird decks.
Yeah, but you want to know what is the #1 thing I take out of that, Woody?
What?
Flying Machine has a 100% win rate.
That is technically accurate. You know, among all the cards, it is the very highest right now.
It's the best in the game right now.
If you look at
in the game, if you're an analyst, who only looks at statistics,
only
it's
at
the
win
best
rate,
in the game, and only at win rate. You can't argue with numbers.
No, man, numbers. Nope. Well, you can argue with numbers though, because I think Mark Twain once said, "There's lies, there's damned lies,
and then there's a flying machine, and then there's a flying machine getting onto your tower right before the Knight's being played because of the speed."
Boom. Boom. Right side Mega Knight, Bats push, almost took that right side tower down. It just barely survived with a little bit of defense left there, but yeah.
The speed of the Mega Knight, the speed of the Flying Machine, Mega Knight, geez. The Mega
Quite fast.
Yeah,
and
super
it was
speed.
Forcing Adam to throw a Princess at that very last second when the Flying Machine was swooping toward the tower. That really shows the panic that can go through your heart when you got a new threat coming at you. You don't know how your deck is supposed to answer it.
Well,
and it wipes that push out.
I don't think Logbait has an answer to it, which is why one of the #1 decks I said against it would have been Logbait, because you rely on your Princess, Inferno Tower, and Spear Goblins from your Goblin Gang as that, and guess what? It kind of laughs at you.
Good. Yeah,
none of those. I mean, you need a Fireball at that point, but guess what? What, are you going to rocket it?
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. So that is the role that Flying Machine has in the game.
He's playing it again. I want to see the clone variation of this, though.
Fearless.
Oh, the Fireball.
Oh, good call here. Adam switches Rocket to Fireball in this Logbait deck.
Is he running the exact same deck with... Yeah, Bandit on the left-hand side.
He's done it before. He did it last time when Rocket got banned.
Bandit on the left, though, going to get a lot of damage off. Goblins on the left-hand side.
Adam's got no juice to defend against this Mega Knight.
No.
He's completely out.
No juice in the kitchen sink, and Knight, though. But here comes the Miner on the left-hand side with the bat. One bat is going to survive. MVP bat has to zap one bat.
Mega Knight finally finishes off
Mega Knight's going to jump on there.
Yeah, he will.
It's clobbering time. Bump, 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 bump.
Mega Knight, jump on it. Jump on it. You saw what I was going for,
yeah,
right?
I did.
With the first
beat.
I
did. The first beat, I was ready. You almost stopped. I was like, I got you.
Backing me up.
Flying Machine.
Chatting MVP.
Oh, Flying Machine MVP.
Oh, yeah, sure is in this game. Left side tower is under attack again.
Ooh, and look at this. It doesn't even... Oh, wait, no, it does. It does. I didn't see the Princess.
Strike that. Rewind it.
Yeah, rewind it. Never happened.
Inferno Tower blocks the Bandit. Another expensive trade for defense on Adam's part. 5 for 3.
Miner on the left, just going to get chip, 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 chip.
Let's go.
Down to triple digits now. Left side tower is not looking too healthy in Chen.
And it's looking like the Mega Knight's just going to continue to dominate in this matchup. Mega Knight just shuts down bait so hard with the Flying Machine as well. I think Lupanji was ready for... Oh, well, that's the game.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's... And Zap misses. Yeah, Adam just...
You block this right side push, there's nothing.
You can't block the Miner either on the left. The Fireball comes out again. Just
took it out this time, though.
Yeah. I mean, second time's a charm.
Right?
Yeah, this
400 hit points on the left and right side tower. Haven't seen a big spell yet from Lupanji, so Adam is still technically in it, but he is sure suffering something awful right now.
Here comes the Bandit on the left-hand side. Is the Bandit going to phase into the tower? No, it is not. Oh, there's the Miner. There's the Zap.
We got to block this Ewiz, though. Ewiz gets the lock.
And there it is. That's going to be the game. Lupanji.
2 O's. The Lord of the Logbait playing his favorite deck while Lupanji is running Flying Machine. That is what I love to see. Coming up with an ingenious deck. I was going to say with ingenuity, he came up with this deck to take out an opponent using a card that you know hard counters what they got set up.
Well,
and you know he practiced it very well.
Oh yeah, the thing about Lupanji with this deck that Lupanji built was, okay, you have Lightning, right, in the Hog Executioner, deck, which Adam showed before. You have, but let's take a look at this Flying Machine really quickly on replay before we get into this. Flying Machine. Oh, look at this Mega Knight.
Fireball. Ooh. Fizzles.
That fizzles onto air. But look at the Zap, though. This is a key moment as well. Look at the Zap missed as well from Adam. There's nothing going really right for him. Miner's going to come in on the left. The Mega Knight's going to smash on the right side. And that's it. It's over. Sayonara. Flying Machine MVP. But here's the thing about the Flying Machine in this deck that Adam has. It counters bait, which is what we said, and it just showed twice in a row, even with Fireball.
Yeah.
So it dominated that. And you have Hog Lightning. Guess what? Lightning really doesn't get that much value versus a Flying Machine. And the Flying Machine, you can place like a Musketeer around. You know, you can spread the field, you can spread the map. So, you know, you're never really going to give him Lightning value there. Only really had a Bandit and the Flying Machine to Lightning. You're not going to Lightning a Mega Knight.
No.
So that deck played perfectly to the 2 decks that Adam played. And I think he crafted that deck just for Adam. And it showed in that matchup. His practice definitely paid off. Flying Machine, 2-0. Watch out. 100% win rate.
Boom. Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Flying machine. Flying menace is more like it.
Yeah.
We're going to have our next matchup starting soon, guys. We've got Surgical Goblin and Islaw rejoining us in the arena. This is, once again, an extremely important match for guys competing for the very top 2 spots to try to get preferential seeding in Stage 5. They both have a 5-2 record. Surgical Goblin opts for the Poison ban, while Islaw is going for the P.E.K.K.A.
P.E.K.K.A. gone. Poison gone. Surgical Goblin, what do you run?
Anything you want.
Anything you want.
He runs anything he wants, to be quite honest.
Islaw.
I don't think I've seen Surgical Goblin like play the same deck twice in a row.
That is true.
He is always mixing it up.
Islaw. Well, what's Islaw going to be running now that P.E.K.K.A.'s banned?
Oh.
What's Islaw kind of go to? What's his crutch that Islaw has been going to in the past? I mean,
I go back to day 1 and I see him running a lot of Bandit Blitz.
Bandit Blitz?
Those bridge spam decks we call them.
The bridge spammy? Yeah, the bridge spammy. There's no poison, though, so he's probably going to have to change that to a fireball.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He did that, no, not to himself. Oh, I saw ban P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah. Islaw ban P.E.K.K.A. The Surgical Goblin. Surgical Goblin banning the
P.E.K.K.A., but
poison kind of takes away a lot of the Islaw's potential decks because he likes to run poison in a lot of his decks.
Right.
Let's see. Maybe Hog Lightning from Islaw? I don't even know. Surgical Goblin, though, definitely has a deck prepared. We're going to see what he has. Does he have Pump Muskies?
Where is Islaw right now? I think I see a giraffe in the background. Is he out on safari?
Maybe.
We're in the jungle, I think.
In the jungle. We're in the jungle arena. Yeah.
The giraffe?
Giraffe, or, I mean, yeah, it's not really the jungle.
There's no lions,
but
unfortunately, in the game.
Yeah. You're close,
I think Surgical Goblin's the only lion that we could have in the arena. All right, anyways. Giant out the right lane, getting some Nightwitch support, but he is not going very far. Lava Hound is going to be the counter-attacking tank for Surgical Goblin. Big flying assault. We got 2 Mega Minions flying on in.
2 Mega Minions. This looks like we're getting Noah's Ark on the right-hand side.
Just lagged out. He played a Fireball and an Archers exactly at the same second, so either that was done intentionally or he kind of missed the defensive spot here. But pretty good job, to be quite honest. Islaw looked like he was going way far down, but managed to
recover.
Yeah, he's recovered. He's still above half hit points on the right lane. Let me run the numbers real quick. Yeah, he's still above half hit points.
That was pretty quick.
What was it going to be? 1250.
Wizard.
1267, I think is half.
Are you a wizard, Harry?
That's just 3rd grade math.
3rd grade math.
That wasn't actually technically a requirement, though, to be a caster. They didn't even ask if I had passed 3rd grade math.
Huh.
It's just a lucky break for me that I'm able to give those stats right on the fly.
There you go. Definitely helping out right now. Is this Giant going to connect on the tower? Fireball coming out. Ooh, the Bats.
Bats get the job done. Fireball finishing that right side off.
Giant doesn't even get a swing.
No, he doesn't. And it's still a big counter push.
Oh, Miter. Oh, no.
Surge.
This is a beautiful play by Surge. This is going to be a tower.
Gorgeous. Flawless victory from Surgical Goblin. The right side getting pummeled from air troops, from ground troops, sending something in from underground in the case of the miner. Surgical Goblin getting it done. There's no balloon in this flying deck. Just a lot of swarm troops. Bats, Goblin Gang, Lava Pups.
Surgical Goblin has... Ooh, Goblin's going to easily gobble this up.
It was a very risky play putting that Lava Hound out in the left lane. It's saying, I think I'm so far ahead that I don't even need to worry about an attack on the right. And that was the chance for Islaw to punish. He missed that chance, and this game is over. I mean, the final 15 seconds are just Islaw.
Double Lava Hounding.
Yeah,
double Lava Hounding. Double Lava Hound. Staying alive. Staying alive. Giant coming on the right side. Not going to get enough damage today.
Damage today. He does stay alive, though. He's he's down 0-1 right now. Islaw hanging on. He's got the best of 3 series to finish out here.
Surgical Goblin.
We need to go to a karaoke bar in Chatton.
Yeah, we definitely do. I only sing one song at karaoke, though. It's Billy Joel.
You know, I sing all the time on stream. I've been
do you really?
Very conservative and withdrawn in CCGS, sparing the poor viewers out there from my Despacito and all that. But Islaw
on the right-hand side. Let's watch this first tower fall. Nightwitch comes in on the right, easily clears out that, and just right onto the tower. There it is. Surgical Goblin asserting dominance, surgically pushed. Left-hand Lava Hound, easily pushed Double Lava Hound in the back, wasn't able to connect on the right-hand side tower ever, really. Isla and Surgical Goblin takes the victory.
That he does. A 1-0 lead right now, and to answer your previous question, what is Surge going to run? He's going to run a deck that I think Nim Sensei also kind of ran a similar deck, using Lava Hound, using Mega Minion. There was a Mega Minion in Surge's deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Using lots of air troops, but not relying upon the balloon to get that connection. You know, it targets straight for the tower. It's great if your opponents are setting up really heavy defenses and are able to kind of bob and weave through your various attacks. But Surgical Goblin putting up such a massive swarm of troops onto that right side. You got to figure, what could Islaw have actually even done to prevent that? Does he just need to split up Surge's troops and never allow him to build that big push? Or did he play the defense wrong somehow?
The problem is Giant versus Lava Hound is if you drop a Giant, they drop a Lava Hound, you sit there and you just shake your head because the Night Witch, especially in a Night Witch deck, you got a Night Witch. The Night Witch kills your Giant. Then your Night Witch gets taken out by the tower, and guess what? There's still a Lava Hound up. He had the Miner to take out the Archers, goes right underground, like you said, to take out the Archers. Then you had the Mega Minion and everything else to follow it up, and there was just no real answer for Surgical's deck in any portion of that game. And you saw Surgical Goblin just easily took a 1-0 victory. Let's get into match number 2, though, between Isla and Surgical Goblin.
It's starting off pretty slow here, just zapping down some bats. You know, Powerbang Gaming in chat said that he wanted to hear more singing, so I expect an invitation from him to both of us to go on his channel for some karaoke later.
Some karaoke?
Yeah.
All right.
If we can't find a bar to do it, then we can just go back to my hotel room, pack up in a few beers.
Yeah.
They're pretty good here in Germany too, aren't they?
You don't say.
Yeah.
You don't say, Woody.
Oktoberfest is approaching quickly.
All right, here comes a Ice Golem on the right-hand side, a Bandit and a Musketeer coming down as well. Is they gonna phase onto the tower? That's the question. That's the million-dollar question. And yes, it is.
The answer is yes.
Surgical Goblin once again.
Oh. Wow, no punish for that Elixir Collector, and Islaw just ran out of defense way too soon. An incredible play by Surge, getting that 1-0 lead on his very first push here.
Within like the first minute and a half of the game, there is a tower down, and Surgical Goblin pumps once again.
Pumping up, pumping up. You're ahead in damage. You want to get ahead in Elixir, man. What else can Surge be ahead in right now?
I know, right? Well, there's a Golem, and oh no, he's going for the triple. Here comes the Bandit, the Ice Golem in the back, the Bat. He's going to load up every single unit.
This is a bit too cocky.
That's not
by my taste. I don't think Surge is actually going to try to get the 3 crown here. He just kind of threw away a lot of Elixir at the King.
Yeah, what? That's 2, 4. That's 7 Elixir just thrown away.
Yeah.
I mean, if Islaw doesn't take this tower,
I don't know. What to say.
Fireball.
3 Muskies getting the job done on defense. Nice fireball there.
Oh, bad log though.
Through.
Bad log.
Misses
both of them.
The fireball knocked the Muskies back out of the log range. I think that they were probably in log range before that.
Yeah, they definitely
were. As you
were.
see, great punish here by Islaw. Left side is now within log range.
The Bandit comes out. It's hitting the tower, but Surgical Goblin's working on the triple.
He is. It's down to triple digits. Speaking of triple. And Surge might be able to pull this thing off anyways. Islaw is a little bit too demure on defense there, not willing to invest the juice necessary to keep those troops off.
Well, this Bandit's going to phase onto the tower. Oh, no. Golem plays too low, I should say. And that's
not able to block. And I think that Golem, even though it would put up a big push on the right lane, is never going to have time to get there. Surgical Goblin getting great value with that punish onto the King Tower. Gets the 3 crown. 3 1s Islaw. Another top player. And Surgical Goblin, I believe, moves into the number... oh, is Surge tied for first? No, he's tied for... He's
6 and 2.
Yeah, he's 6 and 2, so he's second place. Yeah. Yep. And Islaw, Loe, not too far behind, but that drop there from Islaw means he's going to be having a little bit of difficulty moving up into the top 2. Pretty solidly within the blue. But let's take a look at that 3 crown at the end. And chatting, what do we got?
We have Surgical Goblin just asserting dominance.
Surgical dominant.
Dominant. Bandit faces through. The Golem's place too low. Either way, 8 Elixir for a Golem leaves you with 2. That's just third grade math right there. We got third grade math in the building. Bandit kicks here at the tower, and that's that. Triple.
Dunzo.
Done.
Golem burns up, and you know the thing about these Golem decks, you know this too in chatting, is that whenever you're trying to build up for a big push, it takes a lot of Elixir to get that big body on the map. 8 juice, and so you become very vulnerable in the short time afterward. all it took was a bandit out that left side, getting to straight on dash on that left side tower to start whittling it down. Clear 2-1 lead at that point, but Surge wasn't willing to just settle for that, going all the way to the 3 crown. I think that you said something about playing the Golem a little bit too far back. Can you tell us about how to play Golem so that you can catch those sorts of attacks?
Well, if he played the Golem about 3 more tiles higher, the Bandit would have phased onto the Golem. It really wouldn't have mattered too much in this matchup because the Miner was going to get the Triple Crown regardless. But if, let's just say, it was a little bit higher of Elixir, the Golem would have pulled everything that was pushed onto you to the Golem. That way you can easily take it out with your supporting troops and build up a push. But your towers were just way too low, too vulnerable, and Surgical Goblin took advantage of that, pushed hard, pushed strong, took the 2nd tower, and then took the King Tower from that. Interesting thing about today, last week we saw a lot of 2-1s, as you were saying earlier, alluding to earlier. Today, I feel like there's a lot of 2-0s that are going on, where there's just stomps that are going down today.
Absolutely right. Well, I think that with that, we've got to throw it back to our friends in the locker room. Trid's got some more analysis on the matches today.
Thanks very much, Woody. Yeah, you are right. Today has been dominated by 2-0 stomps. I believe we've only had 1 2-1 match so far out of the 10 we have seen. So a lot more quicker matches happening today. But we're going to recap the entire day so far, so you can see for yourself the number of 2-0s we've had. The entire board, Adam versus Surgical Goblin. Credit to Adam. He took a map off of someone like Surgical Goblin. It's an impressive scoreline, but for the most part, it's 2-0s across the board. We're moving into the later section of the map, or the later section of the leaderboard, shall we say. We got an Nem Sensei got 2-0'd again. Baron with the 2-1, and yet again, 2-game stomps all down the board. Surgical Goblin most recently getting a 2-0 victory against Ice Law. But our last 3 matches of the day, Lupanji versus Tin. Tin again versus Adam, and then finally, Donkey Kong versus Soaking. So still some great matchups to come here on the Crown Championship broadcast. So let's take a look at how the leaderboard shakes up after 10 games of week 3. So Soaking and Surgical Goblin sat in that green zone. Preferential seeding. The only thing that divides them is that 1 extra loss for Surge, but I'm sure Soaking can do that. So a fantastic week for Team Queso so far. But Ice Law, Loe, Lupanji, Donkey Kong, they're all in that blue zone at the moment. Interesting records coming into that one. A lot of 4 and 3s and 5s coming into this one with 3 losses on the board. But we move down to the bottom section, the elimination zone. Story's relatively the same, unfortunately, apart from Tin jumping in there. But he's got 2 more matches to climb back out, and boy, can he do it. But Nem Sensei, 0-8 at the moment. He needs to find some wins. We cannot stress this enough. But he's got plenty of time to do it. 10 more games. He can go 10-8 if he wants to. He just needs to find the victory somewhere. But anyway, we got 3 more great games for you here on the Crown Championship broadcast. So Woody and Enchanting, send us home.
Thanks, Trid. This next matchup we have coming out is a battle of the middle pack, for so to speak. We have Tin Dala versus Lupanji. Okay. Now, Lupanji's 4-3. Tin is 3-3. So Tin's kind of in the red. Lupanji's just 2 spots above him in the blue. Yeah. This game could kind of make Lupanji go down into the red and Tin get into the blue, get into, the middle of the pack, so to speak, and kind of get back, into the running of things to get, to take down the 6-2 Surgical Goblin and the 6-1 Soaking at the top preferential seating. But let's take a look at these bands, Woody. We have Miner for Tin and we have P.E.K.K.A for Lupanji. Yep. What is this going to mean in this match?
Tin play yet today, so he's jumping in fresh. Maybe he was a little busy earlier, maybe he was practicing. I bet he's been watching these games, though. Lupanji, 1-1 today, dropped a match to Donkey Kong, but managed to beat Adam. That's a fair place to be at this point, but you're right. These guys are trying to stay in the blue. They're fighting for the middle of the pack. They don't want to drop down into the red, but they're still a little bit quite far behind the top tier guys. I think that these are both pretty reasonable picks to qualify for Stage 5, but it'll be based upon their performance today that they'll be either moving up or down.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. Lupanji, though, coming out with the flying machine in the last matchup that we saw with him. I'm interested to see, does he bring it out again again.
Now, why didn't Tyndall ban Flying Machine if it has a 100% win rate in Lupanji's hands?
You know what, Woody?
Yeah?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
Because he might even increase it to 101%.
Whoa. I didn't even know that was mathematically possible.
Third grade math, baby.
You probably did learn that in third grade. Well, Tyndall here, sitting back, looking happy. And for those of you who are off camera, and chatting is literally cracking up right now. We got minions trying to take out this Mega Knight, but not getting the job done. Balloon back behind. And chatting,
the fireball comes in on the right-hand side. It's going to connect onto the tower. This might be an entire tower here for Lupanji. Just like that, Lupanji gonna, about a quarter of a second from an entire tower. And just like that, Lupanji strikes first.
Yes, he does, and he hits hard, man. 10 down, over 2,000 hit points off the right side. At 504, he could almost lose his tower right here to a single Gobbo barrel.
A Gobbo barrel, but here comes a Hog with the minions on the right-hand side. Goblin Gang going to be played. No defense for the Goblin Gang. Zap, unfortunately, does not take out Goblins.
And this has got to be Lupanji's favorite deck. He's not worried at all about the bans for this matchup. P.E.K.K.A and Miner are cards that he's not really, you know, specialized in. He has played this Mega Knight Balloon deck back to back to back, but it's kind of an interesting twist on it. I can't quite remember the full deck list that he played previously, but with lots of goblins this time, he's hard punishing 10's lack of a log.
100% Woody, and I know last week he had Balloon banned on him every time.
Yeah.
And this week he had Balloon banned on him up until this match. I'm not sure offhand about week 1, but every single person has banned Balloon on him, and now we're probably seeing why that is so.
Accurate. I think we are. And, you know, it's a reminder for those guys out there, if you don't want to have death from above raining down bombs on your tower, you want to keep the air raid out, you can either counter it, you know, the standard way, or you can take advantage of the bans that CCGS offers you.
Yeah, the bans are great, and here comes the barrel on the right-hand side, and that's going to be a tower. Interesting deck by Lupanji. Tower down. Ooh, Balloon, very aggressive Balloon, and this Balloon's going to connect on the tower. Oh,
boom.
Wow.
Gets
boom.
the drop. That thing is donezo.
Yeah, that's it.
2-0 lead for Lupanji. I feel like Lupanji could just drop his phone in a fish tank right now, and he'd still probably win the match.
Well, I mean, Lupanji... What kind of fish is in the fish tank, though?
Oh, good question. Probably beta fish.
Beta fish?
Yeah, lots of them swarming around. That's what I'm getting from all the goblins that Lupanji has. I think he likes lots of fish.
Oh, lots of fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so have a school.
Yeah.
Good.
That is going to be the end of game 1, guys. Lupanji up 2-0 in this match. Almost got the 3 crown there at the end with the balloon floating on in. But Tin has got to have something to say about this afterwards. We are going to have a second game. It's best of 3 for all of our matches today in Chattin. What can we expect from these guys in the rematch?
I expect Lupanji to continue to aerial assault. The games that he has won today, the 3 games that he's won today, he has either ran a flying machine or a balloon. And the flying machine kind of was like a win condition in his first deck versus the bait. So let's take a look at the replay really quickly as to what went wrong here. Fireball just hits the Mega Minion. The barrel comes out, easily clears out the tower. 45 seconds left. Not really much Tyndall can do.
And the hard punish. Remember, he added in another balloon on top of this push. That left side Princess Tower distracted by the goblins that were coming on in. Zap is definitely not going to be enough to finish off this balloon. And the minions that fly in a little bit too late also get zapped down by an offensive zap by Lupanji. Death damage would have finished off that left side tower, but we got there just quickly enough anyways. I think Bats might have been able to kill that left side.
May have been able to kill it as well. And the thing about these decks are there's not very much aerial damage. You're looking at most decks either have Bats and Electro Wizard as the only, air counter.
Yeah.
In here, he actually had Bats, the minions, and Electro Wizard, which is a little bit stronger than Bats and Electro Wizard. But the problem is it's 2 cards that really only hit air, and you're kind of left vulnerable, especially if you only have a Fireball, as we saw. Guess what? If you got a Mega Knight tanking for a balloon, what are you going to have? 1 Electron going on it? Like, zip, not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So the balloon always connected to the tower. Lupanji continued to get the value every single balloon, and he really took advantage of that. I'm excited to see what he plays in game 2, Woody. Do you think he goes back to another balloon, or does he bring out the sexy flying machine?
Ooh, I think that he totally will play that sexy flying machine. Balloon is definitely the sexiest of flying machines, and I think that's what we're going to get again. Oh, you meant the actual in-game card, the flying machine? No, no, no. Lupanji's not kidding around here, man. He's got his favorite deck set up, Mega Knight and Balloon. I expect him to play it again here. Minions are beating up on this poor Mega Knight at the left, though. Lupanji finally finds a Mega Knight, or a Mega Minion, rather, to finish off that push. But
these cards are way too close. These cards are way too close in names.
Yeah. Why don't we just call all 70 whatever cards in the game card?
We should.
Lupanji's card is moving on the left side tower, but the tower kills the card. Another card from Lupanji in the bottom. It's the card, and a card from Tin up on the top.
Here comes the huge push.
Swarmy card.
Oh, the balloon from Tindala on the right-hand side. Is it going to connect onto the tower? Yes, it is. That might be an entire tower. You got a tower trade.
Lupanji, you got to drop that thing, dude. What's he doing?
I don't think he can.
Is he going to go for the 3 crown?
I think he is contemplating what he is about to do. Balloon on the left, balloon on the right-hand side is taking care of that. Here's Goblins on the left with the baby dragon. Oh, the horde of minions, and wow, that's a lot of minions.
Damn.
They called the sisters, the brothers, the cousins, everybody on the field for Tindala. Gonna shut it down, but it is gonna be a tower trade.
It does indeed appear to be that way. Lupanji down to 1685 on his left side, though. Why did you change it up, man? I love seeing that Mega Knight balloon deck. Golem getting some work done here, but...
Golem and Mega Knight not going to help you versus balloons, though. Woody, what's the big problem here, Woody, when you have 2 tanks that are 8 and 7 elixir versus something in the air and neither of your big heavy units attack it?
Well, it can often turn into a base race, just going straight up for that 3 crown, because if you're like 2 ships passing in the night, how are you ever going to actually take out something that can fly like that, right?
That is absolutely true, but these minions just continuing the swarm, and it's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good game coming out from Lupanji. He's actually not too bad if you just look at the total health that's on board right now, but it's a big elixir advantage from Tin, and he's moving in hard on this left side. Balloon floating in with an Ice Golem to block for it. Lightning on defense from Lupanji.
Oh, the Goblin tank! The Goblin tanked the tower. I don't even think it would have mattered, but the Goblin tanked the tower.
The Goblin was tanking the tower. Balloon got the drop, but yeah, Lupanji's just...
Yeah, no, that was a lot of minions.
3 crown this time for $10, and we got a 1-1 draw now in this match.
Beautifully played by $10.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful. $10.
Colton agrees. He says that was a beautiful golem.
$10.
Yeah.
1-1 versus Lupanji. Lupanji didn't bring back the balloon. Interesting. He did not bring back the balloon. $10, however, did. Do we see another balloon in Game 3, Woody?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear that question in chat. What'd you say?
Do we see another balloon in Game 3?
Yeah. When Balloon's not banned, someone's playing Balloon. Might even be both of them playing Balloon.
Well, let's look.
Balloon is getting the win both of these times.
Yeah, let's look at the end of this. Look at how many minions are on the field, continuing the swarm. The Balloon comes in, triple crown. Let's move to game number 3. Lupanji, 10. Interesting decks. And I'm surprised that Lupanji switched it up there, running a super heavy deck versus Tindala. I'm not really sure what was going through his mind. What do you think was going through his mind when he decided to go, I'm going to go from Balloon to Mega Knight Golem, which is the heaviest deck in the game?
Well, I think it's a little bit of not wanting to be predictable. When you're up 1-0, you're a little bit more willing to kind of just jump around and try to get some different decks out there on the arena. You don't want your future opponents to get a read on the decks that you really, truly like to play and the ones that you might be more likely to use against them in the future. So Lupanji is known for mixing it up. He plays a lot of different decks, a lot of creative decks that aren't necessarily what we've come to expect from other players in the arena so far. But with this 3rd tiebreaker game now underway, Lupanji and Tindala are both waiting on their opponents. Tin's going to go first. Mega Minion in the back center. Lupanji not even responding to it, though, and that's a free Mega Minion for 10.
Yeah. Look at how slow Lupanji is playing this.
Super slow.
Bats? I mean, Bats came out really late.
Yeah. That's great respect from both of the players. They are not willing to commit to a push because they know that the advantage of being able to defend well and go on the counterattack is very valuable. Mega Knight gets in there just in time to finish off that Hog Rider, and he's about to go wreck this poor Ice Wizard too.
Yeah, this Ice Wizard is not going to have a good time. Oh no, really? Good baby dragon from Lupanji. Oh, is it going to connect on the tower? No. Yes, it might.
Dead skeleton.
No, the beautifully played Mega Minion to
Tombstone.
Yeah. No, to stop the baby dragon from killing that skeleton, so the Mega Minion would have went right to the tower. Mega Knight would have went to the tower. Mega Knight and Mega Minion, man.
I
this
feel
is
like
a tongue twister.
freshman art history student staring at Picasso right now and like trying to figure out, just like you, what element of that last play that Tin made was able to get him such a decisive lead in that setup. I think the Tombstone was really helpful in distracting.
Yeah,
the,
it pulled the Mega Knight all the way.
Right. So down to 1742 on that left side. Lupanji takes a big Hog Rider hit. And we'll start off with another Mega Knight moving on in.
Double elixir time.
Yes, it is indeed.
Baby dragon, is he?
Is he what in chat?
That's oh, the rocket misses the baby dragon. The balloon on the right-hand side. The bats are going to kill the Mega Minion. This is going to be a... Oh, no!
Tornado misses the balloon. And the Tombstone also dodged by the balloon.
That balloon, though, was not going to be denied.
Dude, it went the distance on that last push. Connects hard on Tin's right side tower, and he's way far down in damage now.
Yeah, that's just one of those things when everything goes wrong. And then when you think it can't get any worse, it does.
It does. Yeah, of course it does, because why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The rocket on the right side for Cycle. Lupanji's going for spell damage to finish this game off. A strong Mega Knight to defend the left lane. He had plenty of elixir. Not worried at all about the punish. Ooh, Arrow's the last card in the deck. It's going to be one more spell cycle, and Lupanji will win the game. Can Tin punish on the left and get another good Hog Rider to the tower? He needs it to win.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough elixir to really push. The Mega Minion comes out, and there's the rocket baby dragon bats.
Ooh, catches some of the bats, and he gets quite a bit of damage off, but
not enough.
Not enough.
Rocket, arrows, Lupanji moving on.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
You didn't even say that time.
I know.
I'm joking you out.
I know.
Right here, right now, Lupanji gets the win. 2-1 over $10. Nicely done. Let me record that in my little
check it off.
Little rule book here.
So what's Lupanji now? What do you see? 5.
Oh, good question. He's 4-3 according to my calculations.
4-3.
Yes.
4-3. $10 goes to 3-4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they'll kind of swap places there. They were both at that even 3-3 mark. $10 was working so hard and making so many moves toward the top. He's now appearing to maybe be in the bottom half. At 3-4 record right now, he's got to start fighting to stay in the blue.
He does. I mean, the blue is the dollar signs. So he needs to
I mean, the green is the dollar signs, let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
there's
the blue,
there's set signs in the blue.
There's set signs, but at least the blue you get into the bracket.
Yeah.
You know, you still get into the bracket fresh.
It's $5,000. I'm pretty sure if you get to the top 6.
That's dollar signs.
Yeah,
it's better than 3,500.
Take a look at these bans. We got Goblin Barrel from Tin and Adam going for the hashtag ban. Bomb Tower has opted to remove a defensive structure that hardly sees any competitive play from this next matchup. Tin going for the Goblin Barrel though. Has hit Adam where it hurts. The Lord of the Log Bait, known for being the best log bait player in the world, not going to get to run his deck of choice here with this Goblin Barrel ban. I mean, he can run something else, but we know it's not going to be true log bait.
No, it's not going to be true log bait at all. First time we've seen today, Adam not being able to play bait.
Yep.
The first time, I believe we saw a P.E.K.K.A ban versus him to take out his P.E.K.K.A minor. And the second time, I believe we saw a P.E.K.K.A as well ban versus him. Was it P.E.K.K.A both times?
I could show you this, but you probably wouldn't even know where to look at my chicken scratch to find the answer. You're asking what was banned against Adam last time?
Yes, the ban against Adam.
Surge banned minor last time.
So minor. So he got to take a P.E.K.K.A and minor. Was able to use his bait. Lupanji had the answer last time. This time, you don't need an answer. It's taken out. Minor, P.E.K.K.A available. Or he could go back to that Hog Lightning deck, that Hog, Executioner Tornado deck from Adam. Going to be a lot of options for him.
Adam can also go way, way back to playing Giant Minions. I think he ran that day 1.
The Giant Double Minions.
Yeah, the Giant Double Minions.
Yeah.
It works really well in a world where You don't expect to be swarmed because you've taken log bait out of the mix here, and yet you could still have minions raining down hell from the sky.
That's true, Adam. 10-2, game 1. Match number 10.
Here we go. Ice Golem on the right, and Adam's got a Knight on the right. They're both kind of mini tanks, not moving in to commit real hard to either lane here. Adam going to poison that right side.
Yeah, Knight on the right, going to just shut it down.
The Knight on the right.
Knight on the right.
You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for Knight on the right. Hog Rider making it through the tower.
What about firepower on the tower?
Oh yeah, don't forget firepower on the tower.
Can't forget that. Oh, Goblin, one Goblin!
Oh, taken out by that E-Wiz. Nice play there on defense from Tim, but dropping a lot of juice here. He managed to get that left side down to 2006. Adam holding on.
Holding on?
Yeah, he's looking pretty good here. I like the Knight there to catch that E-Wiz.
Yeah, Knight gonna come out. Ooh, gonna get pulled around the merry-go-round to the left-hand side. Goblins on the right. Ooh, Goblins from 10-2. Ooh, Hog Rider on the left-hand side.
With an Ice Golem to soak as well, and it's going to be taking shots from both the tower and the Inferno setup here. Goblin almost got a few stabs in on that Inferno tower, but the Hog Rider will be able to take him out anyway. It's going for the left side tower. One hit. Two hits. Boom. Big attack for $10.
$10 making a huge push. Here comes the Electro Wizard, easily shutting down this miner.
Skadoosh. It's a 4-for-3 trade on defense, but E-Wiz can reset the targeting of the miner, prevent him from locking on. Log rolls through, and the E-Wiz will present no more troubles for Adam.
Knight on the left side this time.
Yep. What are the other two cards in Tin's deck? Oh, thank you, Tin. An instant answer. One of them is Mega Knight. Yeah.
Mega Knight, and the second one is probably poison.
Spell.
Probably
yeah,
poison.
Agreed.
Or it could be actually lightning. Either way.
Yeah. Poison or lightning. It's got to be some big spell.
Yeah.
You could use it here if it's lightning. No, a little bit short actually.
No, fireball.
There you go. All right. Okay.
Hog Rider will get a shot on the tower.
I see you, Tin.
Yeah. Oh!
Is he gonna jump? Oh.
Ooh,
drops those big old gloves in midair. Almost got that attack in.
Yeah, and poison. Not going to do much here. Going to clean up the remaining troops. But here comes the Hog and the Ice Golem on the left-hand side. The Fireball preemptively going to come out. It's going to do a ton of
Hog Rider's going to make it in. Frozen by the Ice Spear, but the Inferno Tower is down. The regular tower is not going to be able to finish him off in time. We got a few stabs from Gobs, though. Triple digits on the left side for Adam. He's rolling a log in to try to get this miner to connect. And he's going to view stabs in there on the right side, boinking it down. We got an Ice Golem, Hog Rider. Once again, can we keep this defense to hold? Adam gets fireballed. Knight coming on in this time,
but this is going to be a shot.
Yes, it is.
It is. 428 left on the left-hand side tower. Can Adam defend one more Hog? He needs to defend the Hog and get a good miner chip off. Here comes the Electro Wizard and the miner on the right-hand side. The Goblins and the Log going to come out. This is going to kill the Electro Wizard. Oh, but his Electro Wizard dies as well.
Nice strike there from Adam. He almost gets it tied up, but he's down on damage, and it's Tin's turn to attack.
Fireball on the, oh wow!
Oh man, this is gonna be a fireball cycle game. Adam needs to win right here with Miner Poison.
And there it is, that's gonna be it. That's game.
G to the G. Adam is not gonna be able to cycle back to a win condition in time, and the fireball on the left side will be able to take his tower out.
Miner on the right.
We got a miner on the right, he's making a move. Zap as well. Miner zap can turn it! It's taken away! At the same exact second! What are we looking at here in Chatton?
Oh my goodness, the Mega Knight clobber on the right-hand side though! But what? Wow!
Holy moly! Crap. We have got a 1-1 draw in overtime. These guys are going to have to keep going at it. They destroyed each other's towers at the exact split second.
Oh, wow. You can't get any closer than that.
That's the first time I've seen that in CCGS play.
Oh, in CCGS play, without a doubt. Log coming out. The Hog Rider going to get one swing on the tower. The zap! Ooh, Mega Knight gonna kick down this tower. No, Electro Wizard just going to finish it off. 1178 left on the right-hand tower. Woody, this is going to be a nail-biter.
Dude, I am so impressed that Adam was able to put this thing into overtime. It looked like an easy drop for 10, but he is still going at it. Goblin's going to get murdered by this Mega Knight, though, and does Adam have enough to defend? I don't know.
I don't know, but this miner is just going to town on this left-hand tower.
He is, but I think that 10's got a big Mega Knight push set up. Oh, finally gets dropped, but that was a... Oh, man, that poor E-Wiz on the right side, not getting a lot of value for 10.
Ooh, a Hog Rider on the right-hand side, the Ben Minions. Oh, this is this going to be it? Oh, no!
Minions catch the Inferno Tower, Fireball
there
on
it
top.
is!
Hog
That's
Rider's
game.
going on in.
Hog Rider.
God,
That's all he needed.
421 left on the right side.
That's all he needed. The Miner just doesn't get enough chip damage on the tower. Miner coming in on the left-hand side.
It's a little too
Whoa,
slow.
whoa, whoa!
Ewis gets some zaps in.
Wow. Just
Adam doing everything he can to try to get this game in the W column.
the minions, though.
But having
These
a lot of
minions.
trouble, dude.
Wow.
Tin finally gets the finish.
$10. Unbelievable. $10.
Unbelievable. What a game. $10 and Adam duking it out as we go into overtime and then continue with overtime.
Yeah,
the
it's
1-1 draw goes to a 2-1 win for $10.
We got extra time.
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, what a treat.
Right. It was like extra time twice.
Yeah.
It was like twice time.
Yeah.
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 It was like when you go to that baseball game or a soccer game and you get
the 10th
that
inning.
Extra.
And then you get
extra
the
time.
11th inning.
Exactly. The extra time.
How many innings have you seen in total?
18.
Wow.
But
for American baseball.
Hog Rider replay coming out on
toward the end here. We got an E-Wiz just barely goes down, but Tin's not done with this attack yet. Hog Rider moving in the right side, goes for the Inferno Tower. It was a nice attempt at Adam to try to block this Hog from making it in, but minions are the great catch. Swarming Inferno Tower is always the best option at being able to take it out, and that's what really set Adam way far behind and eventually cost him the game.
Yeah, it did. Crazy game.
It's the prediction minions.
The prediction minions. Always.
Talk about prediction plays in chatting.
Prediction plays, how he fireballed instead of hogged on the left-hand side, and the fireball hit the knight and the tower.
It's about knowing your opponent so well that you can play a card before they are even able to make the counter to what you're already sending at them to just wipe out that entire defensive move to allow something like the Hog Rider to actually then get the hits in.
Let's move on to the next game. $10 versus Adam.
Adam behind 0-1 in this series. He's only got a 2-4 record right now, so he really needs this win. As we just saw, $10 has also dropped 4 matches, and he's got to turn things around as well. Tin, with that early tornado, it's got to be looking pretty good here.
Oh, he's in
King
he's
Tower
in heaven.
activated. Yeah,
He's in heaven.
it's a great defensive start for Tin, especially up against a deck like the one Adam is running here that is just very light, very cheap, not really super heavy on offense, just minor poison cycling damage.
Poison coming out, trying to get as much value as humanly possible. Here comes a Hog on the right-hand side. Inferno Tower. Ice Wizard, though. Gonna slow it down, but not slow enough.
Nope. And Adam will potentially get more value out of this Inferno Tower in double elixir time. It holds up just as long, but with twice as many things coming at you, it could be able to block the pushes that Tin's putting together, but I don't know. Hog Rider eventually gets an elixir advantage over Inferno Tower. If that's the card that you're playing on defense, the 4-for-5 trade, not looking good.
Wow.
For Adam.
That's going to be a nice rocket. Is he going to clip the knight as well? No, just out of range.
Didn't wind up getting a whole lot of value for Tin there. I mean, you get 493 damage off the tower, but that's an expensive investment at 6 elixir. Tin might kind of be low on offensive options against Adam's deck if he can't get through this Inferno Tower.
Yeah, I mean, the rocket isn't... I mean, you got a pre-right rocket? That's really risky if, you know, he misses an Inferno Tower. It can be very hard for Tin to actually get reliable damage on this tower other than rocket.
Yep. 1945 for Adam. He is ahead in damage, but with that King Tower activated, he's going to have difficulty getting in there. We see another rocket cycle by Tin.
I think he feels like that's the only way he's going to be able to get damage off in this game.
He feels confident about his defense. He must have. That's the way he's going to spend his elixir. Ice Wizard out the right side to chip away at this miner, but he got quite a bit of damage on the tower, and Poison doesn't deal as much damage as the rocket, but it's getting that right side pretty far down to 1270 already.
This is one of the biggest pushes of the game. Can he connect with this Hog Rider? And the answer is no.
Easy answer. Adam, one of the best defensive players in the game, holding on now. Oh, no tornado value for $10. perfect placement of that miner by Adam to prevent the tornado from being able to pull it off of that right side tower.
Adam looking really strong in this matchup. Log coming down on the right-hand side, just continuing to assert the dominant. Oh, there it is. There's the rocket that he needed to do.
Aggressive play from Tin, relying upon this Hog Rider, but no hit from the Hog.
Wow, when you preemptively rocket a Inferno Tower, you hit it, and you don't get the Hog swing. That's gotta hurt.
That's not value. That's unvaluable.
That's not quality OJ.
No. Right side Hog Rider does start soaking some damage from the Inferno Tower. It's going to burn him up. And we got some cooked pork in the center of the arena now, if anyone wants any.
Some bacon, but the poison on the right-hand side is going to fry this tower to no.
Tick it down. Even if the tornado pulls that miner off, the poison will get enough damage in there. And that's a 1-0 win for Adam. The Swede on Team Nova ties it up against $10 Borshibe Mare player from Croatia. And we are going into a tiebreaker match in chatting.
Yes, $10. Adam, match number 3.
Yep. Same decks, different decks? Call it. Let me flip the coin.
I don't think Adam could logically go log bait in this situation. I think he might go to...
Especially with giant, Goblin Barrel Band.
That's true. Hog Lightning from Adam.
Yeah.
$10. It's going to be rough. I think maybe Minor Cycle for $10.
This was the replay of the game here. $10 almost got the connection with that rocket to take out the Inferno Tower. You actually saw a pretty good log rolling through as well to try to support that Hog Rider and make it to the tower. Yeah. It was just perfect timing from Adam to get the Goblins in there at the split instantaneous second necessary so that the log could roll past and they'd get a chance to stab that Hog Rider down.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting, deck combination that's coming out, but do you think Adam stays with the miner, which he really loves to play other than the bait, or does he go with that deck which we've seen twice in the first matchup from Adam, that Knight Executioner Tornado combination?
I think that I guess we can already see here right now. We've got a minor play from Adam, chipping away at that left side tower, but good defense here from Tin. Mega Knight obliterates the poor miner, and it's up to Adam to defend against this big push out the left side. How can Tin add on top? Ooh, Minions trying to preempt an Inferno Tower. He's expecting Adam to play that because he's seen in pretty much all the decks that he's had today, and it works very well against that Mega Knight rather. But Ewiz gets the job done, and we may even see another counter push from Adam over here. Nope, not willing to support this Ewiz this time.
No, but he is going to throw a push on the right-hand side. Log's going to come down as well. Wow, that Electro Wizard got obliterated.
Wipe him out. Tin has probably got the heavier deck here, right? But Adam has shown time and time again that he is very comfortable playing the lighter defensive deck. Get a stab in there, try to get the miner to connect on tower. We probably have got a poison somewhere in this deck. Haven't seen it yet from Adam. But Tin's doing a pretty good job at denying value from this poison. He's playing mostly big, heavier troops like Ice Golem, Mega Knight that are able to soak that damage. It's just things like the Goblins, Minions, Ewiz on back that actually die to that poison spell.
Hog Rider on the left-hand side here for $10. Oh no, $10! Zap comes out. Hog Rider gonna continue to assault this tower. Mega Knight jumping on the Inferno Tower, and just like that, Tin gets a little bit of damage off on Adam's tower. Adam, does have a good counter to Tin's deck. The Inferno Tower is definitely going to shut down the Mega Knight. It's going to shut down the Hog Rider. Adam, though, poison probably being his last card more than likely in this deck. Gonna need to rely, just like you said, on the slow play chip.
Ooh, miner at the back left. Tin's Mega Knight ignores it, and we're forced to see an Ewiz come out to try to stop it. Inferno Tower locks on. It gets zapped down. That's forcing a reset, but it still locks onto the Mega Knight again.
Yeah.
And Adam is going places with this deck, man. He's down on damage right now, but he's been playing pretty consistent defense. Gets another miner connection, out on the left lane.
This is going to be a huge push for $10. He's got to supplement it with the Hog. He's got to then get the Minions, but does he have enough elixir? Yes, he does. Hog Runner on the right-hand side. Goblins coming as well. He's going to bypass this tower. The Electro Wizard, the Electron's just going to be enough to take out that push.
Yep. Adam does take a hit from that Hog Rider, but that was his stronger side over there. So it's not too bad of an option to go down to 2164. Still quite healthy. I'm more worried about this left lane as Tyndall applies more pressure. Another Mega Knight moving on in, but Adam's undeterred. He's going to set up another miner out back. He gets a few hits on the tower, but the Goblins are going to be able to take him out. This is a big push coming in from Tyndall, though. We got a Hog Rider moving in to support this Mega Knight. It's going to make it toward the Inferno Tower.
He's going to zap it
away. Zap resets the Inferno, and it can't get to the tower.
Ugh.
Finally, Adam's able to shut this push down, but Tin's got plenty of elixir to go on yet another push.
Yeah, the Mega Knights just keep on keeping on. And, ooh, can the minions get it? Yes,
they're soaking for the Mega Knight. That's a real good play there from Tyndall.
Tyndall, here comes the Hog Rider on the left-hand side. The zap comes out. That's not going to be enough, though, for Tyndall. Wow.
No more range defense against this Hog Rider, but the Inferno Tower is still just healthy enough. And log cycle from Adam, just 90 damage here, 240 damage there, minor connection in.
Adam's playing this phenomenally.
The first poison we've seen the entire game from Adam here. Chipping away at the left lane.
I don't have minor poison, I got minor and minor.
He's got Inferno Tower Knight Ewiz defense just stopping everything that Tin throws at him. And any chance he gets a little bit of extra juice, he just throws it at the tower.
Oh, that fireball did absolutely nothing. Oh, no!
Splash damage on the tower. The Mega Knight's gonna be able to finish this thing off.
Wow, the Hog Rider's coming in on charge. That's gonna be it. It's gonna be over. Wow, that one misplay of the Electro Wizard next to the tower. Clobbering time happens, and there it is. Just like that, one little mistake this high up in the gameplay is the difference between a victory and a defeat. Beautifully played. And just that one little error, Woody, that we were talking about.
Burnt hard, and it hurts, man, but Tin played that very well, and he took advantage of a weakness he saw in the defense setup by Adam over there. I think it might have been the poison play, just throwing it straight onto the tower that put Adam a little bit behind. It's an expensive spell, and I think he was just a little bit short on defense of being able to finish off what Tim was throwing at him. I think he got a little confident. He said, you know what, I'm just throwing spell after miner after spell. It reminded me, oh, never mind, I shouldn't spoil an episode of Game of Thrones. Never mind. Yeah, it reminded me of someone who can poke and prod and then eventually gets their head bashed in.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, that was definitely good episode.
Thank you.
But Tyndall sign is going to get the victory. He's going to be moving on a little bit higher. He moves on to 4-4 now because he lost to Lupanji. He came in at 3-3. Now it's 4-4. Adam taking another loss here, going to 2-6.
It might be 2-5. Maybe it's, we'll check the scoreboard later. But you know what, Enchant? We've got one more match today of two guys who are really highly ranked. Donkey Kong and Soaking at the very, very top of the leaderboard, trying to make their way into the top 2. Before we take a look at that match, though, watch this video of one of our top players.
My name is Jesus Ruiz. I'm from Spain, and my game name is Soaking.
Soaking gonna take down the tower on the right-hand side.
He's so king good.
I live in San Fernando. It's next to Cádiz. It's home of the traditional flamenco, and it's a fishing village. I am the only one from Spain playing the Crown Championship. I'm getting a lot of support of the people of my country. They want me to win this.
And Soaking is now in the lead!
When I went to the first line event, I won the first place. After that, I played a lot of tournaments representing Team Queso. My greatest moment in Clash Royale was when I ended the second place on the ESWC Gamescom, playing on the final to Surgical Goblin. He got first place. He's one of my best friends. I think right now he's the best player in the world, but I think I can beat him.
That tower's going down! Soaking has defeated Surgical Goblin! Wow!
My name is Soaking, and the World Championship is mine.
Pretty confident there. World Championship is his. Soaking Donkey Kong. Can Donkey Kong dethrone Soaking at the top of the podium right now?
He just might be able to do it. You know, Soaking, I think, might even underestimate himself a little bit. He said that he thought that Surgical Goblin was the best player in the world, yet he managed to beat him. Soaking at the top of the leaderboard, going to try to cement his position there up against Donkey Kong. Let's take a look at the bands that these players have chosen for the final match of tonight. Donkey Kong choosing Bats, Soaking with the Mega Knight.
Bats being the first time this may have been banned in the EUCCS, right?
I think I remember Bats being banned once before,
maybe one time.
also by Donkey Kong.
He just really doesn't like not using a log, I think.
Oh, yeah. He loves his log.
Mega Knight being banned by Soaking. So, going to be a very interesting matchup here. No Bats.
Yeah.
No Mega Knight.
Right.
Do we see Three Musketeers come out by Donkey Kong? I know he loves the Three Musketeer element. There's no Mega Knight now to really just stomp them down. As far as that's concerned, Soaking really likes to play bait. Maybe gets a little bait versus Three Musketeers action. Maybe Minor coming in from Soaking. Going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, because Triple Muskies, you know, is a pretty good matchup.
Could be a little baity. You got to look out for the log, though. Log rolls through that bait and makes it very difficult to set up the swarm attack. With Bats banned, you got to know that they're running log, right?
100%.
100%. 100%. Speaking of 100% win rate, Flying Machine.
Flying Machine
against that log bait.
That is true.
Poisons the pump. Donkey Kong's going to spend 4 elixir to get some damage on that left side tower, as well as get 5 drops of elixir out of the elixir collector. Soaking still is going to have a juice advantage, though. Pumping one more time.
A lot of juice and double muskies on the left-hand lane. No poison to really stop this, and had the cycle for his rotation. This is going to be a huge risk for Soaking, and I don't think Donkey Kong is going to be able to really stop this on the right.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A is going to be able to chop through those muskies. Nicely done over there, but
look at the
goblins. Not going to be able to finish off the right lane. Yeah, muskies locked on. Goblins stabbing away, and that right side tower is getting obliterated. Donkey Kong not even willing to drop an additional troop to respond here. Soaking is far ahead.
Yeah. So far ahead here. Oh, that's why he had nothing to defend it. That's a big,
What was with that right side defense? He could have played something, right? Well, I feel like Donkey Kong is choking versus Soaking.
Well, if you think about it, he probably has Log and either Minor or Hog Rider. Or, well, there it is. There's the graveyard. Had no defense. You can't drop 5 elixir for that.
Not at all. You got to stave up a lot of juice to be able to pull that off. He's trying to punish this elixir collector and get some damage on the right side tower, but ever since the duration of graveyard was reduced, we haven't ever really seen it make value in competitive play.
Correct, and I think Donkey Kong has a tornado, so he's not in a good position, especially taking that much damage that early. I mean, he does kind of have like a little bit of a counter-ish to Soaking's deck, but not when your tower already has 1,800 life taken off of it.
No. It's a P.E.K.K.A duel in the right lane. Donkey Kong and Soaking both playing the big, heavy lady. She's moving in hard and chops down that poor knight.
Oh, that's not a good tornado at all.
No, sir. They're walking away from that poison real quick. I think he might lose that right side musketeer after all.
He's losing the left side, though. How do you stop this, Woody?
No way.
Yeah.
That's a good game. Dang. Yeah. An overinvestment on the spells to defend. We're going to see Donkey Kong dumping a graveyard on his opponent's king tower. I think that his own king tower is...
Yeah.
Going to go down anyways.
That one mistake, I'm not really quite sure what he was doing. Did he think he had Fireball in his deck instead of Poison? I mean, he clearly had Poison.
Yeah. I let DK's plays speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But that is kind of typically what you would tend to see from that sort of play. Tornado only lasts for, what is it, 2.5 seconds?
2.5 seconds, yeah.
Pretty short, and a Fireball can make it in that time, but Poison ticks all for it. I think 8 seconds, as I learned last time. So let's take a look at the triple tower replay at the very end. I don't think DK defends against it, but it's a big old troop getting stacked, big old troop push stacking up on the left.
And this is the game. The poison was missed. Now he has no elixir to defend this. The only thing he can possibly play is an executioner. He opts to throw out the concede defeat white flag graveyard on the king tower of Soaking.
Hey, what's with the cheap shot in chat? And just because he's French, you're going to use the white flag metaphor? So rude. Can't believe you do that in chat. We've got a 1-0 lead right now for Soaking from Spain. Just messing with you. For Donkey Kong from France, the Team Queso player leading against Team Nova. We have potentially only one more game tonight.
Yeah, this could be it. If Soaking is able to win this game, it's going to be pretty much Soaking staying at the top of the podium here, 7-1. But Donkey Kong, don't count him out. He's going to be coming back strong. I'm going to predict this to being a third game is probably going to be played here. Donkey Kong, one of the best. So,
and a reverse sweep master. He's done that many times before. He loses the first game.
That is true.
Comes back even stronger. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He takes the first game as a scout of his opponent, gets all that, energy coming in, and then game 2 and game 3, counter decks.
Boom.
Boom. Three Musketeers. I thought the Three Musketeers were going to come out from him. Came out from Soaking instead.
Yeah. Well, he does like playing those big, heavy decks. Not too surprising that they would kind of be running into each other, both playing P.E.K.K.A. But the P.E.K.K.A. control from Donkey Kong there, just not quite enough. Soaking with that big ranged DPS, able to take out the big pushes from Donkey Kong.
Yeah, pump comes down from Soaking. Three Musketeers from Donkey Kong, and there it is. Three Musketeers right off the start, though. It's not really the best kind of scenario you want to be in from Donkey Kong. Let's see how Soaking is going to answer it. P.E.K.K.A. on the left-hand side, and if he can defend this right-hand side push, and it looks like he can. Oh, this
right side push is actually kind of nasty. He's going to get quite a bit of damage off with this Musketeer, but couldn't really punish the pump.
Yeah, the pump.
It's about 700 damage on the right lane, but...
And he's got to deal with the P.E.K.K.A. Oh, he has to log. He's got to waste 4 elixir.
That's a good play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dumps 4 elixir, but he doesn't have to worry at all about this P.E.K.K.A. now, and...
A pump comes down now from Soaking.
2 log is good.
That's... Donkey Kong is going to be under heavy assault.
He just did not have that elixir collector in his opening rotation, and that was pretty much decisive. I mean, Soaking's going to have a huge elixir advantage now, and DK, look, he's got about 900 damage. It might appear that he's winning right now, but with all the elixir that Soaking saved up, you know a big attack is coming out.
Three Muskie? Oh, that's game. Yeah. That's game.
Wow, from Soaking.
Oh, man, he just smirked so hard.
He's just grinning. He's like, yeah, see what's going to happen to this poor P.E.K.K.A. on defense.
Yeah, let's just watch this happen. I
don't want to watch it, chat. I can't watch.
I can't watch either. This is...
Oh, man. Big hit for Soaking at the left side. The tower goes down, and these Muskies are still going at it.
Oh, wow, it blocked!
Wow.
I don't even know what to say. That's just... You know what happened this game? Bad rotation to start it off from Donkey Kong.
No punish. I mean, it happens all the time, right? We see these Three Musketeers decks only playing Elixir Collector, and they don't have any counter to
the Toupee army.
Yeah,
they don't have any counter to the
Toupee army. They play Elixir Collector, and their only counter to other Elixir Collectors is to play an Elixir Collector. You just try to beat them in the race rather than taking that pump out. If it's out of rotation, you're done.
Also, I think Soaking expected him to play Three Musketeers. When you have the P.E.K.K.A. and Three Muskies and you're Donkey Kong, you're sitting there, you're like, okay, I got my Three Musketeer cycle. P.E.K.K.A. comes down from Soaking. Three Musketeers comes behind it. I don't know what to do now.
Finished.
They're finished. You don't have a fireball or anything. You can't get to the Muskies no matter what you do because they had the minions behind it. You had the log. He had every possible answer once he got that pump lead.
Soaking, the Spanish player from Team Queso, wins the final match of the night and will be at the very top of our leaderboard. And Chan, it's been a pleasure casting with you today.
You as well, Woody.
Let's go ahead and throw it back to the locker room. Trid, take it away.
Thank you very much, Woody, and in chat. And yes, I'm joined here to close out the show. And of course, I couldn't do it without my special guest, Ben. He's agreed to come over here just for one more segment with you guys, just so we can recap some of our favorite moments of the week so far. I mean, first of all, because it was the last thing we kind of talked about, Flying Machine, 100% win rate, did a lot of damage to those towers.
All I'm going to say is thank you, Luponji, for making us look a bit silly.
Yeah.
It's what we wanted, to be fair. We wanted to see it do well, and props to him for pulling it out the bag.
Yeah, and making it work as well for him. 2 games in a row. It's fantastic display. I guess moving on to another thing as well that's kind of still on my mind, it's Nem Sensei.
Well, how the mighty have fallen. Second spring season down to 08, is it now?
Yeah, just a bit.
Looking a bit lackluster. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
I mean, there's some of the match results for you. Is anything there taking your eye, going, that's surprising? Or is anything kind of standing out as some of your favorite matches just from what you've seen today?
The first game for me, one of my favorites just for the sheer battle of it.
Well,
yeah, it may have been a 2-0, but the games individually, they were close battles.
So the score doesn't really represent the actual match itself. No, the Ice Law versus Soaking was a great way to kick off this week. I mean, moving into the second half of it, for me, I'm guessing like the Lupanji Adam map, just purely because of Flying Machine. That was such a, I guess, iconic moment of the week, shall we say, and just the season as well.
It's the highlight.
Yeah,
it's the thing that's going to stick in our minds following on to next week.
Absolutely. And then, of course, a couple of the further matches as well. Tin didn't quite manage to get those 2 victories he needed, but getting that 1 victory still keeps him in contention for top 6.
I mean, he's going to be in a relatively good mood. He won his last game of the week. He's going to go into practice for the following week feeling strong. He's got the confidence. No reason why he can't pull it out of the bag.
Well, we know all the matches. Let's take a look at the leaderboard as it stands at the end of week 3. Soaking with the 7-1, and we still got Surgical Goblin up there at the top. So that's a Team Queso blowout. Alvaro is going to be a happy man.
Well, if I'm Alvaro, I'm questioning who's my #1 player right now. I mean, looking at Soaking's record, 7-1, Surge would have the same record if it wasn't for Soaking.
Exactly, but then Soaking would be the 6-2 player, not the 7-1,
exactly.
And balance will be restored. But hey, in the coming weeks, they're going to have a rematch, and that's going to be such a hype match.
Cannot wait.
Absolutely. Moving down into the top 6, though. 3 people tied in third place at the moment. Lupanji, Loe, Ice Law, all new additions to the league. So the only player who's actually hitting a bit of spot of bother at the moment, but not too bad, is Tin. He's sitting 3 at 4. He's tied with Berin, so if he can dethrone him, he's back into the top 6 with the rest of his new blood.
I mean, I expected don't want to slash a dude, but I expected a lot more from Berin. And I think, like I said, Tin's win last game in a match, spur him on. I reckon we'll see him overtake him next week.
Well, thanks very much for joining me, Ben. We've got some great weeks of action ahead of us as we move into week 4 next week. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But from us at the EU region, we're going to call it quits here. We're going to move on to Latin America tomorrow and then North America on Thursday. But from all of us here at the CCGS EU team, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again same time next week.